Guys, what's going on? It's good to see you guys, man. I hope you guys are doing well. I would have had a daytime live, but guys, yeah, I wasn't feeling well. Sunday, I soldiered through the live, but then Sunday night and Monday, I wasn't feeling good at all, man. Yikes! So got some antibiotics. I think it's like allergies and a sinus infection and a couple other things. But I think I'm all right. So, yeah, guys, it's good to see you guys. Now, guys, this Andrew Wilson, Greg Adams debate, I didn't watch it yet. You know, but I what I've been hearing is people say Andrew Wilson won because Greg Adams did some. But here's the thing, guys. Once again, selling men on marriage, guys, that's pretty hard to do. And Andrew Wilson tried with pearly things and it didn't work. Andrew Wilson, guys, Andrew Wilson's not a red pill guy. You guys, we'll go over this again, right? Andrew Wilson's not a red pill guy. He's not. Guys, he's a Christian ethicist. So he kind of, because when it comes to marriage, Andrew Wilson's a tradcon. You know what I'm saying? He thinks that it's men's duty per his ethics to marry women and, keep society going and all this other stuff. Because us red pill guys are saying we've done the cost benefit analysis, and a lot of us don't see the point. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth the risk. So, guys, also preface this by saying, look, guys, Andrew Wilson, like a good 85 to 90% of his platform matches ours, right? But there's a couple of things where we deviate, and that's why when Andrew Wilson and Pearly things were talking, and he couldn't sell marriage to her, people were kind of shocked and calling him all these names because that's the first time that the red pill worldview and the red pill and Andrew Wilson's worldview has directly crashed into each other. You know what I'm saying? People were shocked, So what I'm saying is, guys, if you like Coach Greg Adams and you like Andrew Wilson, guys, just because you disagree with either of them on this, don't let that disqualify them to you, Guys, I don't have to agree with 100% of what anyone says. I don't agree with 100% of everything Snowboard says. I don't agree with 100% of what that Jordan Peterson says or Top G or anything. But guys, does the person have good intent? Are we kind of on the same path? If that's the case, that's fine. Just disagree and move on. People have this weird thing where it's like, oh, Andrew Wilson versus Greg Adams. It's not that big of a deal. If you talk to Andrew Wilson and Greg Adams about social issues, politics, they agree on like 90% of everything. I would probably say 95% of everything, right? Even if you talk to them about how men can better themselves, right? About being a good guy, working hard or whatever, they'll agree. It's just the marriage thing, That's probably the one major issue other than like, the church that they disagree on, So, Snowboard, what's up, dude?
Not much. I didn't see this, but Andrew Wilson he's kind of more of a Christian fundamentalist in a way. And that's okay.
He's a Christian ethicist, meaning he believes in Christian ethics more than anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, guys, that's
really all that it is.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
And
that's
Andrew has to
really
explain to people that he's not a red pill guy, even though he's on the whatever podcast all the time. He's not a red pill guy. He's not. He married a single mom, right? He's he believes men should get married and have this duty to whatever and whatever. That's fine. A lot of red pill guys agree. Guys, put a 1 if you agree. I mean, no, yes or no. Would you get married if you could for sure get the same type of woman that your granddad, your great granddad got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most men will say yes.
Yeah.
I've asked you guys this. If most of us modern men in 2025 could get the women of the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, we would be just fine. We'd be happily married and probably have some kids because there's not a lot of risk. Because those women were good women. They stuck it out. That's how it worked. They prioritized dating, marriage, relation. Well, there was no dating. Right? They courted and then married, you had kids, but they prioritized marriage and children just like these modern women do careers. So, Keyshawn, what's up, dude? Calvin, what's up, dude? Keyshawn's here. Let's see. Laughing Man's here. What's up, dude? Good to see you as usual, my friend. And guys, I dropped the link in the Discord first. Do the first little while Discord, and then we will open up the lines. Red Door's here, Daniel's here, Mike Trimmer's here, Rajai, what's up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, as usual. Let me see. Tim is here. Steve is here. Prophet's here. Let me see. Prophet, here's the thing about Top G, right? Guys, you can disagree with him all you want, but you have to admit his whole message of, guys, be the best version of yourself that you can be. Physically, mentally, economically, right? Because, guys, if you're useless, if you are not the best version of yourself, then you're useless to your family, your friends, and anyone else who you choose to help. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I get from Tate's message. People have kind of misconstrued all the things he said, but his whole thing about, intersexual dynamics, men bettering themselves is a basic foundation of our talking points. He kind of did go off and do his own thing, but I don't see how anything that he said about what men should do to better themselves, I don't disagree with that. Now, there are some things, yes, but hey, I even agree with some of the stuff Fresh and Funky say, So, Devil's Advocate, what's up, dude? Neon's here. Okay. Well, Mike Trimmer, $99. He says, I watched it. Tell me how a woman and even in an e-marriage doesn't have the ability to get a lawyer to tell the court the assets can be divided when she decides to leave. So women, no matter how long that they're there, no matter how long them operate off a whim. So women's hypergamy boy through its facts. Mike Trimmer, dude, that is a great point. That is an absolute great point right there, dude. Hold on, where's my thing here, man? Appreciate that. Thanks for the 99, man. I appreciate that.
You are scaring the hoes.
And guys, what Mike Trimmer is saying is why marriage isn't worth it right now, especially for millennial men and Gen Z men. Guys, would you sign any contract with a person that can just break it at any moment for any reason? It makes no sense. And Andrew's adding, because I saw, guys, maybe later on this week we'll look at him trying to talk to Pearly things, because he really had trouble there. Because Pearl wasn't trying to debate. She just asked him a question that he couldn't answer. There is no here. You know what, guys? I'll drop the link now.
One thing.
Hold on. Snowboard. Hold on.
Okay.
Snowboard. Yes or no? Marriage is beneficial to society, correct?
Yes, I would say so.
Marriage is beneficial to women and children, correct?
Yeah.
Is marriage beneficial to men?
Nope, not
Thank
anymore.
you. And somewhere in the last 50 years, what's beneficial for society and men, and children and women and then to men has diverged. It used to be the same, but now what is good for society is not good for men anymore. And until that changes, I was on Chris Mike's panel last night talking to this guy, right, who was trying to, marriage and men and blah, blah, blah. I said, dude, the best thing men can do is not participate, because look at how that law changed in Kentucky, right, where they get automatic 50-50 custody. Why do you think they did that? Did you see men's rights advocates marching? No, men just stopped getting married, right? Yep. Whoops. And so they're like, we need to entice men to come back. And they changed the law, so divorces went down 20-30%. They took power away from women and gave it back to men. There's gonna be a point when enough men stop getting married that they're gonna get rid of no-fault divorce. And then I guarantee the divorce rates are gonna go down and the marriage rates might go up. You were saying?
Yeah, a couple of things. Number one is, like, ask yourself the question, like, if marriage didn't exist, would you invent it? So in other words, like, sometimes it's kind of just a ritual to say that you're with somebody more, and it's usually just to have the government get involved. Like, that's what a lot of marriage is, or it is now. Not always was like that.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's one point. The other point is, I think this isn't good for Andrew Wilson, because we see that he has his ethics and his fundamentals that he likes and that works for him, but he's trying to sell you on something that need not be done.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a good, like, if people want to do this, they will do it, and that's up to them. You shouldn't have to sell them on the idea of it at all.
Yeah, that's true.
At all. Like, it should be selling itself, and it's just not. So he's doing something that need not be done, really. Is the only thing. And just be aware that other people are going to try to make this space be like, oh, I'm on Andrew Wilson's side. This other guy's an idiot. It's like, they don't one guy's just more of an ethicist about it than the other one is, and that's fine. That's pretty much it.
Well, here's the thing. Once again, the problem with this debate here is Coach Greg Adams, and I haven't watched it yet, is trying to be prescriptive instead of descriptive, because if you're just pointing out the facts, you automatically win. And that's why Pearly Things was winning. Because she was saying, look, marriage is just not worth it. What do you guys get? And Andrew's stuttering more than me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have an answer. And that's why everyone's like, my God, Andrew's he's struggling against this, big ginger chick. You know what I'm saying? Because you like so to now all of us guys are going to basically see what not agree with Greg Adams. I'm with the coach automatically, but kind of come from his side because we kind of agree, right? The whole we look at the facts, data, statistics, and most men, especially young men, look at it and see their uncles, their dads, their granddads who got cooked and divorced, right? And they're like, why? And then usually it's shaming tactics. Oh, well, or you're obligated to, or you're not a real man if. And guys aren't having that anymore. Millennial guys, Gen Z guys, you can't shame them. You can't shame them.
That's the religious attachment he has.
Yep. That's Jonathan, what's up, dude?
Yo, what up, dude? Hey, 3 kids? Wait, 5 kids and 3 baby daddies? What was it?
Devil's Advocate, what's up, dude?
What's up, brother? What's up, everyone?
Man. F YouTube, dude. South Africa's in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
How you been, man?
Well, just, your times are terrible for me. So
but you're still here, man. Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. F YouTube was one of my, first, 200 subs, right?
Yeah, probably 100.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah. F YouTube, Rajai, Steve, all you guys. Marky Mark is in there. So guys, we're not going to break any news because this is long. So we'll end this. But Snowboard hasn't watched this yet. Jonathan, Devil's Advocate, and F YouTube. Have you guys watched this yet? And what did you think?
Yeah, I watched it when Coach was live, and I will say that I think Coach was trying to get his point across, but I think it was just kind of muddled. But the fact that this guy wanted to preach Christianity and he's got a woman who's got baby daddies, and none of those kids are his, and he's some stepdaddy talking about virgins and the whole Christian slant, I just think is bizarre. Those days are gone; they ain't coming back.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is like under his Christian model, men need to be the pack mules, right? We need to. A strong Christian man takes care of these single mothers and their bastard children. A strong Christian man takes on a woman who slept with 1,000 men, has got the herpes. A strong Christian man never worries about himself and just sacrifices himself, even though, we'll get divorced for no reason, lose half his retirement, and get married again. Clown world.
So one thing that
hold on. A devil's advocate, and then Rob, and then Doug and PA.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched this. I've seen some Coach Greg, but I do like Andrew Wilson a lot more. But I'm not religious at all. So but I like him that he doesn't always, or his point of views don't always. He's not bringing religion a lot of the times when he's like debating or talking about stuff. So I do like how he goes about it. But yes, a lot of his views are based on his religion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how he goes about it too. So I really do like the guy.
I actually watch Andrew Wilson. I've never really watched Coach Greg Adams much. I watch a lot of Andrew Wilson. He's actually my favorite person like on the internet to watch right now. You know what I'm saying? He's religious. I am. I don't agree with everything he says, but I think that his heart's in the right place. So guys, don't let this debate disqualify either one of these guys, right, from you. You don't have to agree with everything that everyone says. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that oh man, Coach Greg Adams got dunked on. Oh man, Andrew Wilson got dunked on. Guys, they're both putting out their points of view. And you remember, guys, a debate is not about them convincing each other. It's about the audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100.
Guys, Greg Adams and Andrew Wilson, they're probably friends. They've probably been in each other's circles for years. You don't know. But just because they're on the opposite side of an issue doesn't mean that it's either or, you know? Matter of fact, the fact that he debated Andrew Wilson, I'll actually go back and actually look more at Coach Greg Adams' stuff. Honestly, because I've heard of him, but I've never really watched it.
Yeah, I'm Coach Gang, dude. I watch his live streams almost every day.
I used to watch him now and then, and he is funny. You would like it, AJ.
But his
similar
favorite
to
quote,
a talk radio show a little bit in a way.
His favorite quote of his that I know about is when he says, "Ain't no Jesus in divorce court." God is mysteriously absent when that judge is hitting that gavel and giving her your house, your pension, taking your kids away, you know? So, Rob, F-U2.
Okay, so I did watch it, and personally, I actually think both of them had the right ideas. The only issue is that they were tackling from two different points of view. So Andrew's looking at like the macro point of view of how do we help our entire community, right? And Coach is looking at it from how do we help the individual? So they ended up talking through each other through most of this because one is giving a macro solution, one is giving a micro solution.
Yeah, but that's one of the major things about Andrew Wilson that I disagree with, when he's kind of trad Connie, is saying men need to step up and lead. And well, you can't lead those who don't want to follow.
Yeah,
we live in a free society. We can't make women do anything.
Yeah,
to
but
automatically put it on us men that there's something that us men are doing wrong. When guys, what good is a general if his troops won't follow? Right?
I hear you, but that's the whole point of where Andrew sort of loses these issues, because he's talking about micro issues, and the micro issues will not take like 2 years to fix. They're going to take 50 to 100 years to fix, because he even spoke about as much as propaganda took the people into this stage, they can use propaganda to take people out of this stage, which I do agree with.
Yeah.
But then the coach is like, okay, great. How does that help people right now? And that's the point where that's what the whole goal is. Because coach is like, I'm helping people right now at an individual level. And Andrew's like, I want to help people at a societal level. But then changing society is like, how long that takes to do. So that's what I said. They ended up talking through each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Doug and PA.
So the thing about it is Coach Greg Adams is talking about marriage from like legal actual marriage that like the majority of people get married through the state. That's kind of not going to change our lifetime. Andrew's like, well, you can just have an ecclesiastic. No one's doing that. Nobody. Like, and men, even the ones who look, men do stuff that works. Okay, no one's doing like it's such a small percent of people doing what Andrew's talking about that it's statistically insignificant. Like he doesn't even have an argument. Well, all you have to do is get married without the state. How many people are going to do that?
That's like Amish people only is like what he's talking about.
Exactly. And then Andrew wants to go back to the 50s. That's never going to happen. And then so Coach, he just keeps going back to legal marriage because that is a standard. Andrew is trying to deflect by saying you don't have to get married to the state. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Chicks don't have any incentive.
And lawsuits are the new divorce. Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and but that's where that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah.
Greg Adams is coming from marriage through the state because that is the only version of marriage that matters.
Yeah.
Period.
And now they're even trying to do palimony now. Devil's advocate moves in friggin' Stacy. They live in the house for 7 years. She moves out, takes him to court and says, he owes me money, but because even though we weren't married, I'm used to the lifestyle he gave me. And there are judges out there that will make him pay her.
Yep. And if you
is absolute.
If you live in Australia and Canada, it's happening more and more and more. Yep, so like before, Pearl cooked Andrew Wilson on marriage on her channel. All she did was say, Andrew, sell me on marriage. He couldn't do it. He said, well, you're gonna get a virtuous woman. What does that mean? And even if you can figure out what it means, what motivation does a woman have to be virtuous and then stay virtuous after marriage? There's nothing. Andrew Wilson has nothing on this subject, nothing. And Greg Adams, he keeps saying, we need to get back to really real world. And Andrew's up in the clouds. This whole thing pissed me off.
Yeah, he's ifing everything. Don't if.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Guys,
never worry about how
this one
should be. Worry about the way things are. If you go back and watch, and I'll go over this later on, when Andrew Wilson and Pearly Things talked about this, it kind of went viral because everyone's like, "What the hell?" I didn't realize that Andrew Wilson was. There was word. People were saying simp, delusional. Like people were so used to him being on whatever, that they think that he agrees with us red pill guys when it comes to marriage because they didn't know the whole Rachel Wilson or whatever. And guys, like I said, he married a single mom. Guys, that works for him. Fine. I wouldn't do it, but he's not a red pill guy. I like Rachel Wilson. I think she's cool, whatever, fine. It's not for me, but guys, this is where we differ, right?
That's right. Andy took an L with Rachel Wilson. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'll say it.
But his belief system is that it's righteous. Yeah. Like he's kind of making the assumption that everyone wants to be like a Christian and live sort of.
It's still an L though. You can't convince me otherwise.
Here we go, guys. Let's get it started. We'll probably click through some of this.
And then can I get the plug?
Andrew is selling something that need not be done. If men want to get married, they'll just go and do it.
But here's the thing, guys. It's already getting fixed because men are checking out.
Yeah,
that's exactly. I was saying this on Chris Mike's channel. And guys, I was on Chris Mike's live and we kind of cooked this one troll dude who was trying to be like, oh, men need to get married, obligation, Scooby-Doo, right? And I was saying, guys, the only thing that's going to make things change and put a one, if you guys agree, is if men just mind their own business. Men, MGTOW, mind their own business. There's going to be a tipping point. maybe it's 17% of men, 22% of men. But guys, they're going to have to entice men to come back.
And that's basically CGA. That's basically CGA's whole free agent lifestyle thing. Exactly that.
Guys, we've had men's rights activists since the 1950s, 40s, and they can't get anything done. Gillette learned the hard way. Bud Light learned the hard way. All these companies that piss us men off, and we vote with our feet and our wallets. That's the only thing we can do. But oh no, you got to worry about society. What if men aren't joining the military? Well, that's making the country vulnerable. Well, they have to make the military attractive to men again. They have to give men a purpose. They have to make men feel like this country's worth protecting, right? Or men are going to say to hell with you. So
one of the best quotes still in the red pill space I've heard is, the 20th century was women rewriting the rules of society, and the 21st century is going to be men responding to it. And so far, women and these simps and these trad-cons, they hate the way that men are responding, and they're doing everything to shame, insult, guilt, and need to berate them back into the rules of the 20th century. It's not happening. It's not. No way.
Have you seen the whole misandry is a reaction to misogyny, right? They say that's fine, but then MGTOW is a reaction to misandry. So there you go. So now we reacted. Guess what? Guess what? We win. We're gonna win, guys. We're already winning. Gen Z and young millennials, they're not having it, guys. They're not. Guys, put a 1 in this chat right now. If you're single and you were going to go out on a date with a chick who was decent, right? You get ready, you get in the car, you put the little directions in the phone, and you get like a mile down the street, and you're like, screw it. You turn around.
I know.
Go back home,
to the drive-thru.
Put a steak in the freaking pan. You know what I'm saying? Play some Xbox or work on your Chevelle. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I know plenty of guys who had a date. They had it scheduled. I'm like, and just decided to stay home and watch the game, So
go by the drive-thru, freaking play some video games, watch the hub. You just saved $150, $250 right there.
Yeah, sure.
That's pretty much been me sometime.
Let's go.
Yeah, Neon says, guys are walking away. Most are not even approaching these females. And those with money go overseas to maybe get married. Retired men with money are enjoying freedom nowadays. Facts, guys, facts.
If there's a male loneliness epidemic, women get praised for being alone and stuff, but all of a sudden there's a
guys are doing just fine. Guys, how many times do guys want to be left the hell alone? Guys like being alone.
Can I ask you a question, AJ? And this is for the rest of the chat. Have you noticed being a single man, going your own way, that you encounter a lot of drama or weird tiff with people who are friends or family that are married? It's always married people be tripping.
For sure. Jeez. And baby mamas and stuff.
That's all I've been dealing with lately is married people tripping, dude.
Yeah, and even worse, these chicks at your work, when they find out that you're like, well, over the age of like 28, 29, 30, or if you're in your 40s and you're not married, you don't have any kids, guys. Everyone who's black in the chat, put a 1 if you've heard these B-dubs. If a man's over 30 and he don't have any kids, there's something wrong with him. It's like, are you serious?
Yep, I've heard that before. I've also been labeled selfish before, and I asked the question, how am I selfish by not like marrying someone? Explain that to me. And I've never had someone able to actually articulate it to me properly.
YouTube, are you making sense?
How dare you?
I say this every single stream. I'll say it now, guys. B-dubs, I hate them from the depths of my soul, dude. About 80% of them. The worst women on earth. The worst. No one has worse women to choose from than Black American men. The absolute worst. You could Thanos snap 80% of them away, and no one would notice. And the few that did wouldn't care.
I would say you could Thanos snap 98.96%. And the world would be a better place.
From the depths of my soul, dude. There's a fire that burns.
Yeah, and everyone goes, but AJ, isn't your mama black? You know what? The hell with her. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Guys, you can't shame me.
Yeah, she could jump off a cliff too. How about that?
Guys, you can't shame. Guys, put a 1 if you are beyond shame. You can't shame me. You can't. You cannot, guys. So, guys, here, let's get into this.
To connect this in case I need a ChatGPT stuff during the debate. So we're all good. Debate.
And right here in my pocket. Well,
here's the thing. Greg Adams has been divorced before.
Yeah.
He's been through the trenches. He has the 1,000-yard stare. You know what I'm saying? And then here's Andrew. Well, Jesus couldn't fix that for you. Come on, man.
What did I think of that?
Yeah, each of them
have some respect and
kind of
AJ,
on brand.
Did you see that thing where Kim Kardashian admitted that she failed the bar because she used ChatGPT?
ChatGPT did. And I'm gonna do a video on this. Did you guys see that Akon's getting divorced? His wife has filed for divorce, but then she wanted like 130 million. But her lawyer looked and he only has $10,000 to his name because he put everything in his mama's name. City boy, let's go. So now she's gonna have to pay him because she's worth like $5 or $6 million, you know? So, anyways.
That baseball cap off.
Man, they already. You have adult men.
Is marriage worth it for men in the West? So let's get into some.
Snowboard Jonathan, Devil's Advocate, F YouTube, Doug MPA. Is marriage worth it in the West? 1 sentence, go.
No, not now. Maybe it used to be. But
Jonathan,
no.
Too much of a risk. No.
Devil's Advocate.
No, it's not.
F YouTube.
No.
Doug MPA.
Okay, I'm gonna have a different stance. If you want to have kids, you should try to have kids in the context of a marriage because now I don't have any kids. I don't think that you should have kids, but a lot of guys are gonna have kids, and I always say that the most selfish thing a woman can do is be a single mother by choice. I don't want to see guys trying to.
Doug, he said 1 sentence, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. So, like, if you want to have kids,
the whole
So,
opening statements. Who wants to start off?
Yeah, man, marriage is a great institution. It was an institution that built the community of America. Most of the better communities that have safety, good children, good schools are typically centered around marriage. However, marriage has not progressed to the point where men could be safe legally, and a lot of men have experienced tremendous damage, collateral damage as a result, and it has led to broken families, a lot of broken hearts, simply because the laws are not positioned to benefit both people in a divorce.
There you go, guys, right?
Yeah.
Right there. And guys, all the TradCon mentality is thinking that things are the same, like is thinking there's a 1950s thinking without acknowledging that women have changed. That's all TradCons think. They think men need to, well, what about women? What about them? And that's where they mess up.
Therefore, you have no-fault divorce.
Ultra Sigma, even prenups, dude. Prenups, oftentimes, they can poke holes in them. And you can still get cooked, you know?
You have opportunities
not
for
only that, AJ,
women.
When it comes to prenups, if a woman can just say, I didn't understand what understand meant when I signed saying I understood this prenup. And it'll cost you to... you have to pay for her lawyer and your lawyer for her challenging it in the first place, even
that's
if
fast.
Yeah, double all added.
Yeah, that's the part I always mention is, okay, you've got the prenup, but defending the prenup is expensive. Didn't Terry spend like $300K still defending the prenup?
Yeah, that's true.
Like in lawyer fees.
I think Orange Man had to pay his first wife like $2 million even though they had a prenup. It's crazy.
To
And
use
this is
the
back in the 80s, so that was a lot of money.
courts against men, and as a result, men have seen 1, 2, and 3 generations of men getting harmed, their grandfathers, their fathers, their uncles, their brothers getting harmed by this. So Generation Z men are not positioning themselves for a positive marriage. So at this particular point, if someone asked me, would I recommend marriage for them, and they were in a certain position in life, they weren't established, I would say no.
Especially if they're established. Guys, here's the thing. Like he's kind of giving kind of like a silver lining there, but guys, most men would get married or would actually think marriage was less risky if there was no fault divorce. If they were to get rid of no fault divorce tomorrow, right? Because most men want to get married still. It's just looking at it and saying, you know what I mean?
There's no benefit for the person to get married today.
Guys, men self-delete over this stuff. That's
here's something, AJ. Here's something that I always like to say, okay? You know, the studies have said that men benefit from marriage, but I like to say it's a clear distinction where men benefit from good long-term relationships. Women benefit from marriage, not because of the marriage, but because of divorce. Right? Yeah. Marriage doesn't really benefit nobody, right? The marriage itself, because you can get all that in a good long-term relationship with a woman. Okay? It doesn't even benefit women like that. But it's the divorce that generally benefits women. That is why marriage benefits women.
Well, I would say that marriage gives women options because a lot of women want to get married and not have to work. A lot of the chicks I know that are married to decently successful guys, they quit their jobs. They're a teacher, then they'll quit and try and do like a daycare job while the guy shoulders the burden. So they actually have the benefit of not. And then I would also say that I hate it when they're like, oh, well, a married man makes 25-30% more than a single guy. Well, he has more bills to pay. You moron. That's not a good thing. That'd be like saying hold on. That'd be like saying, well, I'm a lawyer and I'm making more money than Devil's Advocate or than Snowboard, who's a tree trimmer. Well, I have $200,000 in student loan debt. Snowboard makes good money, but he has no debt. So who's really winning here? You know what I'm saying? A single guy is winning. He can make $70K a year and not need to make $100K because he doesn't have any kids or some stupid wife spending all of his money. You know?
And also that, do they factor in that when did the income differential happen? Did it happen before marriage or after marriage? Because women are going to tend to marry the guys who have got more income rather than less income.
That's a good point.
So is the income a factor of marriage, or is it a factor of the choice of the women to marry the wealthier guys?
Damn, that's a good point.
The only benefit I see for it might be better at helping the guy maintain that level of making money. She's like, helping streamline things.
If she's a good woman.
When does that ever happen?
Snowboard.
I'm trying to play both sides.
I got you.
If anything, it probably kills the efficiency because you got to do more stuff.
Yeah, because she's gonna be like, Snowboard. I know that you have a business and you have coworkers and employees, and I don't have to work, but you're never home. It's like, what? How are you supposed to make the damn money?
So, two things. One, feminism has taught women that this push for equality means that a woman sees a man successful and doesn't want to do the work to match his success, but feels like the success. Feels like her being equal should manifest itself somehow when she doesn't want to do half the work, which is why a lot of modern women hate their husbands for being successful. They benefit from it. And then two, there's that stat where married men live longer than single men. They take that stat is false because they take married men versus all single men, and single men are the ones more likely to be homeless, more likely to be drug addicts, more likely to be all that stuff. If you take a man who has good general habits and is in good general physical health, he lives the same amount of time as a married man. That is garbage.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I think
Mike,
they did the
hold on,
same
guys.
thing
Hold
with
on, hold on,
happiness.
hold on, hold on. Mike says that I wish men could wrap their mind around change. When the new Predator movie is no longer in theaters, men will be able to watch it on VCR, streaming. Apply that question to women and marriage. Facts. That's a good point, man. Thanks for the $9.99, my friend, guys. You know, be like Mike, man. Mike's lighting up the super chats, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You
I
are
don't
scaring the hoes.
Thanks
I don't
for
quite
that.
understand what he means by that. Can you elaborate what he means by that?
I don't know what it means either. I tried to read it and figure it out. It didn't make sense to me.
I think that he was saying that that we used to watch Predator on a VCR, right? But now we have streaming. Things have changed.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So
Adapt to the change.
Yeah, adapt. Yep. So, Black Man is fair. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Yes, what's going on? I'm okay. How are you guys?
Good, man. Good. Good to have you here, man. So,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Response, Andrew.
Yeah, I didn't hear any anti-marriage arguments. I heard anti-divorce arguments. So
already not off to a good start.
You can't get divorced if you don't get married, right?
You have to do step 1 to get step 2. What are you saying?
Yep. Yeah. Right.
I'm with you on divorce, 100%.
Stream over.
And
I agree.
But it's a good thing that the topic isn't on divorce; it's on marriage. And it seems like you agree with my proposition then. And the proposition is that marriage, quote, is a great institution.
Yep.
And that right now your concern is that men can't be safe in marriage, but that's not actually what you're saying. You're not saying men can't be safe in marriage. They can. You're saying
the lie detector determined that was a lie.
That they may not be safe in divorce. So I have a counter proposition for you.
Here we go.
Pause, AJ. He said that you cannot be safe in marriage. Isn't the divorce the whole point of not being safe in marriage?
Thank you.
What are you saying, sir?
A big L on this one, guys. I'm telling you, this is an L.
It's basically semantics at this point.
Yes. And guys, once again, if the majority of marriages end in divorce, then logically you would conclude that if you're going to get married, you're probably going to get divorced, right? I mean, is my logic sound, right? So therefore, and he's saying that there's some way that you can just never get divorced, like that there's a way to be married and the possibility of a divorce is never there. That's crazy.
Andrew's trying to sell a belief system, but it's really a product. Marriage is kind of a product. So when people don't like the product, they return it and whatnot. If you're doing it under the assumption how Andrew believes, it's all going to work out good. It's going to be a good woman and like kind of the 1950s model, like you were saying. And it's just not. It's not up to date and accurate. If it was, a lot more guys would be getting married, but that's just not the pond we're fishing in, really, right now.
Yeah. And here's the thing: I really think that the majority of men want to get married, want to have a nice wife that'll make a mistake and hand them a beer and have kids that they can play catch with, whatever. It's just saying, can I get the woman that my granddad got and my great granddad got and men in third world countries get? These cultures where marriage and children, these women prioritize that more than some career. Then I guarantee most men would actually get married because those women don't divorce you for no reason. They stay. That's what, guys. This is how much men want to get married. They're flying to other countries. They're leaving the United States and some are moving out of the United States. That's how much men want to get married. So to say that men don't want to get married, it's just saying a lot of guys don't. We look. This would be like saying I want to buy a car, right? But the only dealerships in my town or the only dealerships in my state are friggin'
Chevy dealers.
Yeah, Chevy dealerships that sell Chevy Cruises. Well, it's not worth the purchase. The product isn't good enough. I'd rather ride my bike. I'd rather ride my 21 speed than get stuck with a friggin', crappy car. That's how men are thinking when it comes to marriage. So,
case that you can use religious marriage institutions without the state.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
And then we add the ecclesiastical structure of the marriage. That's what always kept them together anyway, before the state was ever involved. So what if instead we use the ecclesiastical church, the structure of the old churches, that would be Catholicism and Orthodoxy, where you see the lowest divorce rates, because the community puts pressure on the women to act right. That's what they do. Right now, the state applies no pressure on women to act right? You can just go and file whatever you want, get a divorce, and go be banging the neighbor by the next night. We totally agree on that. But to say that we should abandon marriage is silly. It seems like you're completely pro-marriage. You're just anti-divorce. So why wouldn't you just throw your weight behind institutions where the divorce rate is the least, and you have an ecclesiastical structure?
Guys, hold on.
No one said don't get married. They're just saying it's probably not a great idea.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Look at this, guys. Look at this right here. Hold on. Dude, Mondami is the mayor of New York. Oh, no!
Way.
Oh, no!
Oh, man.
Guys, New York is cooked.
Good luck to them.
Yep.
It's
going to be an EBT nightmare.
Where is Angel right now?
Angel's long
He's probably
gone.
far out of there. Yeah.
Look at that, guys. Hold on. This is what New York's gonna look like. This is what New York's gonna look like, guys.
And to take your gasoline out of the wasteland.
It's gonna look like the Road Warrior, dude. Straight up. This is what it's gonna look like, guys. That's what it's gonna look like, guys. I'm telling you, man. They are cooked. They're cooked. Cooked, guys. If any of you guys live in New York, get out. Get out fast, man, because it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But guys, I'm actually happy.
Let it happen.
Yeah,
the hell with it.
Let it happen.
Agreed. I want to see if they're right or wrong.
Yeah, these woke give them exactly what they want. Look at Oakland, San Francisco, Seattle, Portland, Chicago. Yeah. Yep.
Guys.
He says New York is stand.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, there were so many, because there's 19,000 homeless people in downtown Portland right now, literally a whole city. It was people were shitting so much on the sidewalk that there was a bacteria that was getting people sick, like it was a freaking third world country.
Bubonic plague stuff. That's gross.
So dysentery, jeez.
Yeah, that's gross, man.
Appeal to assist with that. That's what makes no sense to me.
My response to that is if we're fifths, we beat all drunk. All right. So that's a scenario that just isn't present.
If we're fifths, we'd all be drunk. That's hilarious.
Can you explain the analogy for me?
Well, if we use if, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If we say if we have a situation where this is present, then this would work. Well, that makes sense. If we had that,
it would work right now.
Well, it doesn't necessarily work because, and I'm going to tell you why, because a woman can go to a divorce attorney and they can simply just say, hey, listen, it was a off the cuff, off the state divorce, but you got married within a certain state, or she filed in a certain state, so therefore the divorce goes on. No, absolutely, yes. Listen, I've been to with the divorce attorneys, and what they'll tell you is,
and Australia right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, listen,
Israel,
you can get married.
You remember him?
Yeah. His wife. I'm sorry, his girlfriend tried to get him for like $700,000. and they were never married. Yeah, luckily he beat it because he was one that put everything in his parents' name too.
Yeah.
I think something like that happened in Canada as well, where I think they didn't even live together. If I remember correctly, they didn't officially live together, but I think he still has to pay alimony or some stuff like that.
It's called palimony. Palimony that happens in the United States too. So
in a ritual, you can get
one other
married.
quick thing. Who also benefits from marriages?
The government,
but also
attorneys,
divorce lawyers, attorneys, all that,
judges,
the wedding venue, all like a whole bunch of other crap like that. The wedding the party planner, the event planner. So there's kind of a mini economy that comes with marriage. So
guys,
some of these people also have a
massive economy, more like.
About it, guys. This is the only place where you can have a husband and a wife. They're both successful. But then they file for divorce, and then they both have to claim bankruptcy at the end of the divorce. So wait a minute, where did all of their assets go? Where did all of their money go? They have to claim bankruptcy. So all of their wealth was taken from them by the lawyers, by the judges, by all this other stuff. And women think that this is a good idea because they're not happy. Clown world.
So any legacy you might have had is now gone.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? At least would have been going to your kids. But now it's owned by them.
Yeah, that's true.
Off record. But if she files and that woman is hell bent on saying, we got married, I don't care if it was a ceremony where we walked on coals with our feet bare, that's considered a marriage. You also have common law. You have a lot of other ways for that woman to establish marriage.
How does your way eliminate common law?
I don't have any way to eliminate common law. So what I have is a way for men to avoid
then the
being
argument's
used.
silly.
No, the argument's not silly. So here's what you have. You have a if proposition, which doesn't exist for most men. Most men aren't religious. Most men aren't looking to be under a religious orthodoxy. So it doesn't apply. So you're taking a moral standard or a religious standard to apply to people who aren't under that veil.
So let's start with a couple of things you said, which are fundamentally untrue. Most men are religious, in fact, including in this country. Most of them, not some of them,
but they're not Catholics and they're not Orthodox. So that's kind of a semantic trick he was talking about because he mentioned Catholics and Orthodox earlier, but most of the United States is Protestant. So there you go. And men don't go to church much anymore. Men have left the church en masse.
That's what I'm saying. Andrew still tries to insert that belief system into everything that he's saying all the time. It just need not be done.
And I'll further add to that the religious part. Really, I mean, how people call themselves religious and are twerking in clubs every Saturday.
That's why I'm saying he doesn't need to sell it. It's not going to sell right now.
I've witnessed that way. People go to twerking at a club on Saturday and then they're going to church on Sunday to
still with their nasty, dirty G-strings on. Just
so when people declare they're religious, how religious really are they?
Rob, these strippers still got the ones in their G-string when they're sitting in church, right?
I understand, but maybe just take that point. Most aren't under your religion.
Okay.
We can agree with that.
So here's the thing, though. But Catholicism and Orthodoxy is growing rapidly.
No,
if it's the case that the ecclesiastical structure is already there, which it is.
No, it's not.
Right? If you're going to cohabitate with a woman, the thing that you're offering right now is common law marriage anyway.
No,
if there's cohabitation.
No, he's saying don't cohabitate
at all. You're not protecting anybody from that. At least under my model, it gives an ecclesiastical structure that's designed to prevent divorce by applying community pressure. That was the way it was always done. Apply the application of community pressure within the confines of the woman's social circle. Right now, do you agree with me, for instance, that many divorces happen because women like to yap? So you get a freshly divorced woman, and she's free. You go, girl. Girl power. And she starts talking to her little friends, and she starts telling them how liberating it is and how great it is and this and that. And this is why when women have divorced friends, their likelihood of divorce actually rapidly increases. It's for this reason.
Divorce is contagious.
So if it's the case that this social contagion is eliminated because now we have an ecclesiastical structure, an ecclesiastical authority, which won't grant it because you get ostracized from that social group.
But that's not going to happen. He thinks these women are going to care. He thinks that the Western chicks who have no shame no shame at all, guys. There's Mormons getting divorced now. Mormons. There's Mormons.
And I'll further add to that and say, okay, so this was a structure before, and it stopped working. So why would you go back to the same structure and assume it will work again? Because that was the default.
That's true, and and it got cooked. Yep,
because but a lot of it is still down to feminism, because a woman wouldn't be with so many guys and know anything. Like the woman would be more on your team. That's not really happening so much now. So that Andrew still thinks it's operating that way, and ideally it should operate that way, but that's not what we're seeing. And
guys, this is all about power, and I know that you might ask yourself,
how could they cut the power, man? They're animals.
Right? It's because there's a small group of men that use women and government to redistribute wealth from the rest of us men to themselves, right? And these 304s are so stupid that they think that they have the power. They think that they're winning, right? They're so dumb. And once as they're drunk with power, once these women got the 19th without the draft, it became about special privilege, and they want to stay in that special privilege mode, and they're never going back. They're never going back unless we create an artificial rock bottom, and that's by men going their own way. That's the only way it'll work.
Through
Tacticus says, God will not even sell you hypergamy insurance. Religion or faith can't sell this insurance policy either. Facts, guys.
Communication, for instance, or not being able to participate anymore with that community. That's an application of a serious and significant social pressure, which can do the very thing you want. Bring back that great institution, absent the state, and it avoids this.
But here's the thing. Coach Greg Adams said, is marriage worth it? And he's saying right now, it isn't. Andrew Wilson saying it can be worth it. If we make certain changes. But that's where they're talking past each other.
Because that's what Andrew is trying to have. He's trying to install his belief system into which would be a great update. That would be a good thing to have, but it's just not that applicable right now. It's just really not.
The whole problem of common law.
Basically, you just tell him, see you in 100 years when you've got the solution. Basically, that's what you tell him.
Mm-hmm. And guys, propaganda does work. Everyone used to smoke back in the 70s and 80s, and then these campaigns made it look not cool or shameful to smoke. So smoking's lower than it's ever been. Because we'd have quite the time trying to shame people into trying to make being single not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, women are never gonna. That's gonna be a tough one.
You can be common law married anyway inside of a state, and they can get grounds for divorce on that anyway. Then we actually need to have some social pressures to prevent them from doing that.
Oh yeah, Devils Advocate. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Here, make sure that you go over and check out Devil's Advocate's channel.
Yeah, just wanted to show some love, my brother.
Let me drop the link. Guys, head over there. He has a lot of live streams. He's really, really good. He agrees.
Later, guys.
He's a friend of the channel. Let me see. Can one of the mods drop the link to his channel, please? I'd appreciate that.
So it sounds like,
thanks, man.
We agree marriage is awesome for men. Divorce is terrible for them. So it seems like we should be attacking the divorce structure here, and it doesn't seem like you actually have anything to do that other than just avoid the thing that's great for you, because this other bad side effect could happen.
Sure. That's
so
like
why don't
smoking
we?
Cigarettes.
This is the dumbest argument that I've ever heard Andrew was make. I really think marriage is that one blind side to his logic. Like, this is not good.
No.
This is not appealing. It's not logical. It's not sound, and it's saying men take the risk because one day it might get better. Come on, dude.
So why don't we attack the bad side effect?
That yet. Things need to be cleaned up more before you can pitch that idea. It's just right now. It's not working.
Yeah.
When we have the mechanism to do it, it's not if we can do it
We
now.
don't have the mechanism. How? Oh, everyone. just magically get more religious.
You think the courts are going to want to make less money?
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Yep. Let's just
Courts
all
love
become Catholics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right,
so like smoking cigarettes is the same analogy you're saying. Okay, here, cigarettes in this situation, we obviously know it has negative side effects, so you would avoid it. Now, here's the issue that I have with it. It sounds great on paper,
Yeah.
but we can't travel to the land of make-believe. It sounds great. The majority of people probably wouldn't do it, and if you ask a guy, which this is an important part, they're not even prepared to even talk about that. They don't even know what divorce laws are. So you're asking them to travel to the land of make-believe under a marriage system that small percentage of people use. No one uses it today. You might have said they used it to the past. Today, that doesn't exist.
Thank you.
So we can't travel to the land of make-believe to make marriage work for you. It might work in your marriage, but it doesn't work for the greater structure.
Your argument here contradicts itself
Here we
because on the one hand, you say men don't know enough about marriage, but my assumption is that your mission is to let men know about marriage?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then I don't understand how it's the land of make-believe if you can let them know about this, but I
He's
can't?
letting them know because they don't know. Like, am I? Anyways.
Sure.
Right,
And
so
you can offer
if,
that.
So if
You
I
can offer
am,
that.
it sounds like I'm offering a real alternative to what you're offering. And here's what
No,
you're
you're not.
offering. Men, marriage is great. It's a great institution. It's the best for children. These are your words. In marriage, right? Men seem to thrive. Their health seems to thrive. Everything seems to thrive.
Not true.
You're saying, well, the problem is that divorce rates are high, and they are. However, there's a few things there that you haven't covered. One, it depends on demographic too. For instance,
Absolutely.
if you're black, it's going to be way worse than if you're white.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, Coach Greg Adams is black. You dunderhead.
Beta.
Yeah. Oh wait, I shouldn't. Andrew's he's doing his best, but I mean, come on, you know.
Way worse. And also socioeconomics matters, right? Demographics in general matter. So you can do a lot, actually, including prenuptial agreements. You can have a prenuptial agreement with the ecclesiastical authority without the state even involved. And it seems like that would mitigate your risk to damn near nothing.
What? Why would you not have a legally bound prenup? Then it's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane, guys.
You said if about 50 times
So did
today.
you.
Now, here's what I'm telling you.
So
I'm
did
telling you
you.
when, all right, we're already in this system. You're going outside of the system to create a scenario for me to argue
What
against.
system are you going outside of?
We're talking about marriage is typically done with the state. Almost everyone does it this way. So now
Typically is
you're
not-
here's hold
is
on for a
not
second.
much.
Hold on for a
Come
second.
on, Andrew.
You've
What are you
moved the
doing?
goalposts.
Yeah.
You've moved the goalpost to a scenario of if.
Yeah,
And
he's asking
He's
Greg
doing
Adams.
the exception and not the rule.
Yeah, he's trying to argue this
Yeah.
against this perfect system that everyone should move towards.
Yeah.
Greg Adams should say, "Well, when that happens, Andrew, I'll agree with you.
When
Or I'm
pigs
all for
fly.
it."
Yeah.
But what should we
pretty much.
do
All
until
the
then?
ideas.
What should we do until then?
Yeah.
I'll wait, and he would have won. You know, so
You're arguing
is.
from the if. No,
Is.
hold on for a second. You're arguing from the if perspective.
It is perspective.
No, listen.
It is.
Give
it
me a
is
chance to
perspective.
listen.
All right,
Give
I'll
me a
give you
chance.
Go ahead.
You're arguing from a very small percentage point. Now you're saying demographics, and we can talk about that, but you're still trying to get me to argue in your cloud of if. That's the land of make believe. Most people.
facts, right?
Yeah.
Did he lie?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he-
Whiteout says, "How long will it take?" And guys, I dropped the link. Anyone who's coming up, guys, just hit the StreamYard link, guys. Let's see some more likes, guys. Right?
Andrew's analogy is that we're all fishing in this beautiful tropic oasis, but it's really more like Flint, Michigan, and people are just like, "This ain't worth a damn."
No, but it's
Keep
just
doing
take the risk because one day things might change.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by the time that you won't get cooked by the time that this mythical scenario can happen. Come on, man.
I just can't take advice from a guy who's married to a woman with 3 kids. 5 kids from 3 different dudes?
No. Well, they have biological kids together. I think she
Oh.
had 2 kids when they first met, and then 3 of them are.
Still though, man, I just couldn't take advice from a dude marrying a chick with kids. But whatever, man. It's the thing is that I think he's trying to cape for his wife and his marriage, and he knows that everything, his life's on the table.
Jonathan, he's coming from his Christian worldview. And once again, that's the trad con that's in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the men need to step up, men need to this, men need to that. Even though he cooks these 304s, he ultimately has the whole men need to step up and sacrifice and pack mule. Because Andrew, he's a pack mule. He's a pack mule. And men are saying to hell with this. Guys, what do I always say? The most important question men have always asked, and the bell that can't be unrung. Men that are climbing in the sewers, men that are keeping the power grid on. A lot of guys stand up and say, what am I getting out of this? Why am I doing this? Why am I risking my life climbing this cell tower? Why am I risking my life volunteering to join the military? And no one has an answer for him. No one at all. And until people can do that, men are going to keep checking out of society. There's an old Chevelle that needs your tender love and care. There's some hot Colombian chick you can smash. You can fly down and smash. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
By far are married to the state. Not only that, your land of make-believe still exists. The prenup with the ecclesiastics, you can write whatever you want in that prenup.
It's not
It
legal.
only matters in the divorce. That's the reality. So I'm still dealing in reality. You're in the clouds. Hold on for a second. You're in the clouds. So let's take the demographics.
Okay.
In your scenario, it sounds like, which would be fair, your primary concern is with white people.
No, it's with
Hold
all
on for a
people.
second. You said with black people, the demographics, the chance is higher.
Yeah.
So have you discovered the ecclesiastics approach to black people married within this?
Yes.
However, their demographics.
And blacks are one of the most religious group in the United States. Oops.
Economics, which all do affect marriage, has nothing to do in the land of the clouds or the make-believe with ecclesiastics. It's all going to boil down to in the law. And there's no church reverend that's going to go into your household to make sure there's social pressure on your wife. Do you know any?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any that can cover all marriages? That
Yes.
answer is no.
Yes.
You've been had.
In a fantasy cult.
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Keyshawn, you are correct. This is the TradCon part of Andrew Wilson coming out. And this is why, once again, you guys go back to the live stream. Like Snowboard, he was there. Colin was there where we covered Pearly Things and Andrew Wilson. And this is why there was such like a shockwave that went through the Red Pill community. Because Andrew's views on marriage were the exact antithesis, like anathema to ours. So
by the way, when you keep
are we in reality here?
I'm
or are
trying
we in the clouds.
when
I mean,
you're-
we're not arguing anything legitimate.
I was just trying.
This is in the land of make believe.
Well, when I'm allowed to respond, let me know.
Give me a second.
Go ahead.
Let me finish this point.
Go ahead.
You're imagining. Your imagination is great. John Lennon would be great. You would be proud of you at this particular point.
But I'm imagining all the people.
You're imagining all the people under a situation and a structure that you brought in here. All right, but the state highly governs this, and the state highly governs divorce. I'm dealing in a reality situation where I'm trying to counsel men to give information to. The best thing you've told me is that you're willing to give men the option to do this. Are they willing to all do this option? The answer is probably not, just like they're not willing to do what I'm telling them to do. However, we're both attempting, which is a good thing. It's noble. However, your situation rarely exists. Can we talk about the reality of what exists?
Sure.
Absolutely. So let's take your moral religious crusade out of it and talk about the reality.
Yeah, let's
Are you
not.
willing to do that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
See, you're not willing to do that
Well,
because it's all based on your reality.
Guess what? It's a debate, and I will argue my points from my view, how I see fit, not for you to
But what I'm not.
Coach
Mark,
Greg
what's up,
Adams
dude?
has a really good point.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Going to do is
It's
expect
not
to
my
be arguing
government.
from the land of make believe.
Yeah, but it's
okay.
not- you
All
don't-
right. So
okay,
anybody
my
have
turn. My turn.
Anybody
Relax.
have the
Guys, once again, this is the practical versus the theoretical, right? Like, I get what Andrew Wilson's saying.
Yeah.
I get it. He's trying to say that if we could get to the point to where there was a religious, like, dominant cultural mindset, then there would be no divorce. Greg Adams is saying, well, guess what? There isn't. Yeah. So until that happens, men are going to get cooked. So Andrew's trying to argue a hypothetical, and Greg Adams is arguing what is. And this is just saying, like, well, there's only there's one restaurant in town and their food sucks. Greg Adams is saying, don't go there because you'll get food poisoning. Andrew Wilson's like, well, one day their chef could get better and the food might be good. And you're like, but I don't want to get freaking salmonella, so I'm not going to go to the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So they're already talking past each other.
Anybody have the sound effect for the television show where
Greg
the train
Adams
comes through,
Mr.
Rogers?
Let me know
because I want to be on. I want to be on Earth.
Yeah, let me know.
All right,
let's let Andrew respond.
Yeah. So the thing is it's funny that you bring up "Imagine All the People" of John Lennon, which is an anti-religious song, and hilariously enough, was designed to assist with female empowerment. Isn't that hilarious? But the thing here is you keep on saying that what I'm offering is make-believe, but it's not. It's been governing the Orthodox and Catholic Church for 2,000 years, including in this country. Now, here, let me give you an example.
But somehow, it lost. And the majority of people are not Catholics or Orthodox, right? They're Protestants, and they're getting divorced. And there's 304s, right? So once again, that he's arguing something that Greg Adams is not even saying, you know?
Well, for instance, the Amish, right?
Like
you know
me, I was raised Catholic, but I don't think I'd want to get married in a Catholic church after they had all these diddlers and stuff. I don't trust it anymore.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people are shifting like that too.
Snowboard.
How dare you?
The divorce rate is among them. It's almost non-existent, yet they're still governed by the same laws of the land that you're speaking to. So sounds like if I give a counter, if I say, look, I can give you a way, a methodology in which you can utilize the religious ecclesiastical institution which has existed for 2,000 years.
But see, what does that have to do with Greg Adams' argument, though? He said, if I can give you a way to utilize, he said, but that's not going to happen. Andrew doesn't have a big red button that's going to make everyone be Orthodox all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like, there's no big red button to be like, Jonathan, Snowboard, and Rob, you guys are going to be Orthodox tomorrow. Shaboom! It's not going to happen. This is theoretical.
And even if we were Orthodox, are the women going to be Orthodox too?
Thank you very much. That's the argument that I had with this total clown on Chris Mike's stream yesterday. It's like, you keep saying that the men this, the men that. What about the women? I was talking to him about my one friend. He's a PhD in engineering, makes $250,000 a year. You know, attractive dude, no homo, right? And his wife won't give him children, so he's getting divorced. He did everything that he's supposed to do. You know, he's not a junkie. He's not an alcoholic. He's not abusive. He's a funny guy. He's in the top 2% of earners. He's in the top 1% of education, right? And he's with this 304 goofball wife who won't give him kids. And I asked this guy on Chris Mike's stream, should this guy get divorced? And this idiot said no. No, he shouldn't get divorced. I said, wait a minute. This guy had gone on about getting married, have kids, legacy. I said, you don't support a guy divorcing a chick who won't give him his legacy so he can find a new woman, get married, and have a legacy. I said, you're a clown. You contradicted yourself. You're a clown. There's always this thing where men need to do better. Men don't need to do a damn thing. And that's the thing about us red pill guys. Men need to, real men, that don't fly over here. It does not fly over here. Now, guess what? Men used to be selfless and be like, we'll do whatever. We'll be pack mules, right? But then women all of a sudden basically culturally kicked us in the balls. And now men are saying, we've drawn battle lines. You need to pitch us a reason to come back over there. You need to sell us on being pack mules. Yeah. What are we getting out of this? And they haven't been able to articulate what we're getting out of this.
I can say what we're getting out of it.
What's that?
So obviously, I'm kind of biased here because I'm Orthodox as well too. So if I was to point to a region of the society that probably has the best recommendation for having a children, it wouldn't be out of wedlock. It wouldn't be playing house. I'd say, well, Orthodoxy. Well, the problem with this is I'll tie this in real quick, is I'll say, yeah, you can't turn people Orthodox, but at least we have like Amish community. You can point to the Orthodox. But Greg Adams here is arguing against divorce. And then he's never made an argument for marriage at all. So that's the problem
But
too.
if the majority of marriages end in divorce, then A plus B equals C, right? You
Right,
can't
but
get divorced if you don't get married.
Well, here's the problem, though. You can't die if you don't live. You can't drown if you don't swim. You see how that logic goes?
So that logic tracks. But it didn't used to be that if you got married, you have a good chance of getting divorced. Back in the 30s, 40s. But that's the case. And until you change that, because I said this, guys, put a 1 if you agree. If they got rid of no-fault divorce tomorrow, would you get married? Or is there a better chance of you getting married? I guarantee everyone's going to put yes.
But I will say this, though. You'll never choke if you don't eat. But how smart is that? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't think the logic really tracks that well.
But if the dish that you ate was most likely going to choke you, if you saw 7 people in front of you choke, would you eat that dish?
If I told you that the dish was like going to deploy 91% of the time, you'd probably use it, right? If it was a parachute, that would be Orthodoxy, right? I'd say, yeah, I would eat there.
Yes,
yeah,
but if that was only 10% of the parachutes and the other 90% only deployed half the time, I wouldn't do it. You can't argue.
Correct.
Look.
So then I'd say, well, you only use that parachute. That's it. The other one's stuck, right?
Here's the thing. but what about the... Okay, let's just say that a guy is Orthodox, right? Let's just say, Marte, you're Orthodox. And what is the chance that a woman that you find is going to be in line with that orthodoxy and actually pay attention? Because you're worried about you can do the right thing, and you probably know guys that have done the right thing. They've done everything this and they still got divorced. We are men.
Steven Crowder.
Most men want to get married. I believe this. 95% of men want to get married. But we've done a cost-benefit analysis looking at the women in the West and saying it's not worth the risk. And we keep talking about what men need to do. Men cannot buy a bad product. If the women said, we are not going to get divorced and we don't want this power, because remember, Kentucky had the automatic 50-50 custody, right? We talked about this earlier. This took power from the women and gave power back to men. And guess what? Divorce went down 20-30%.
I have a solution, though. If you go, because you said, well, try to find a woman, right? And the other guy said, well, that's right. But I'm like, but I'm going to the Orthodox Church to find a woman, which means that my divorce rate is going to be 9%. And then 14% with Greek. So it's like, yeah.
So what are the other 90% of men who aren't Orthodox supposed to do?
For them, it was never supposed to be like secular marriage. I don't even understand why secularists get married, to be honest with you. I've never understood that.
But here's the thing, though. You remember that the majority of the United States is religious. They're Protestants. They're other things. Marriage up until the 60s, 70s, 80s, the 90s was what the majority of people did. The divorce rate has gone up the last 30 years. But for the most of the West, marriage has been a sound institution. It's just been the last 40 years. And your mindset and Andrew's hasn't caught up with what's going on now because you guys live in this Orthodox bubble, which is great. I think, what? If that works.
We have kind of a little bit of a jaded view, but that's what we see.
Yeah, I honestly think that if Andrew Wilson's plan could come to fruition, that would be great. It would. Because most men want to get married. But here's the thing. Women aren't going to give this power up. They're not. This is all about power.
I'll tell you this, so women don't want to give this up, right? So I'm not going to go to the feminist women. The women have infiltrated the evangelist church. That's trash, actually. I'll even admit that to you. If I go to the Orthodox church, then it's like, what? Can I tell you this? I'll even ask you a question. Why do you think it would be bad for me to go to the Orthodox church and find a wife?
I never said it would be.
No, I just asked you a question. I was just curious. But if I did go, would you say that's a prescription, right?
It wouldn't be because the divorce rate with those people are so low, but practically for the rest of us non-Orthodox guys, because there's not enough of those chicks to go around, right? So what are the rest of us men supposed to do? Let's just say that all the Orthodox guys marry all the Orthodox chicks, and now we're just looking at the golden friggin' amusement park of the Orthodox Church where all the guys are all married and have submissive wives. What are we? We're in the parking lot with all the 304s, the feminists, and all this other crap. What are we supposed to do?
I'm glad you said that because I have an answer too. So women outnumber men. And then if you realize that if all men take a strike and say, you know, we're not doing this, guess what the women are forced to do?
That's what I've been saying this whole time. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what Greg Adams was saying. Greg Adams is saying men need to check out because when we stop doing things, they have to make the deal sweet. They have to sweeten the pot to make us come back. And that's what Kentucky did. They said they saw, I guarantee, they saw men not getting married, men not participating. So they said, the judges aren't getting money, the system's losing money. So they did that 50-50 custody law and gave men some of the power back. And that's going to incentivize men to actually come back, get married, have kids, participate. Look at Bud Light. Bud Light got cooked because they pissed us off. Gillette, they pissed us off, right? No, that's the number one thing that we can do. But anytime that I talk about men going their own way, men minding their own business, we get shamed for it. Oh, a real man does it either way. A real man's a pack mule. Right? No, you need to. This is the same thing that I said. Rajai, Tim Hicks, Marte, anyone black in the chat, sound off. You guys remember we said us black men, the Republicans and the Democrats need to convince us to vote for them. They have to compete for our votes now. They have to sell us on why we should vote for them. Men need to do the same thing when it comes to a marriage and kids.
Correct. So if all the men leave the dating market and a lot of them run to the Orthodox Church and women are the most easily propagandized, guess what's going to happen?
But they don't even need to be Orthodox. They just need to just check out. They just stop participating.
Right.
Let's guarantee you, Marte, most men want to get married and have kids and move on down the line. I honestly believe men want to get married more than women do, to where they're going to different countries. So it's happening more. We're winning now.
Yeah.
A version of Andrew's plan where a mindset to change the culture is happening now, but it's happening our way. It's happening MGTOW. It's happening Black Pill.
The Greg Adams way will actually eventually, over time, bring in the way that Andrew wants.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with this is Greg. Well, I'll give you one thing though. I didn't really hear much of a solution on his end. I'm not degrading his point, but I'm just saying though, it is a patriarchal structure and it's rising as more people are converting in the West. It's probably one of the fastest converting things that has happened in the West. I do agree that there's a lot of overlap here, but I do agree also that if we start moving, the women are going to follow if we start checking out. But if there's a success rate that's high, people are also going to see that. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. I agree, but I still think Andrew's talking about what should be or what could be, and Coach Greg Adams is talking about what is, because he's been divorced. He's been cooked.
But that is what is, because Andrew Wilson is married. He's looking across from somebody who's married and successful, which, I mean, Andrew Wilson's not imaginary in fairy tales, Greg says, right?
But he's part of but he's the exception and not the rule. There was a guy who I was on a panel on yesterday, and he was the exception, trying to argue like he's the rule. The exception proves the rule. Andrew Wilson's an outlier. He is. He's happily married. His wife, they raise kids. His wife supports him. He's an outlier, right? He's one.
I don't know if he's that much of an outlier, because I go to like a massive one that's everybody's like married.
But here's
it's
the thing.
Like hundreds of thousands are married like that.
Yes, but that's Orthodox and stuff. They're a small percentage of the population, dude.
Oh, it's great. It's one of the fastest growing.
But it's still small.
It's small right now.
Yep.
Greg Adams is basically saying, hey, this is what men should do for the next 10 years or so.
10, 20 years.
10, 20 years.
It says Orthodox Christians make up
Andrew's point will be like this
0.5 to 1% of the American population.
Oof, that's very small.
So
fastest growing though.
Yes. What I'm saying is that I talk to young guys that are 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and they see their dads, their grandads, their uncles got cooked and divorced. One guy's uncle self-deleted because his kids got taken away. What do you tell him? Oh, join the Orthodox Church and get married again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I would say secular marriage sucks, doesn't it? That's what I would tell him for sure.
But here's the thing, though. There's religious marriages that it might not be Orthodox or Catholic, but there's Mormons who get divorced. There's Protestants. There's evangelicals who get divorced all the time.
Yeah, those aren't Christians though. Like LDS isn't Christians. The other ones aren't either.
But to you, they aren't. But they call themselves Christians, right? So like,
yeah, they're not.
They're still religious.
Go by the label,
yes.
but not being true.
Yeah, OnlyFans people call themselves Christians all the time. They'll wear crosses on whatever.
What I'm saying is that if Andrew Wilson's arguing what could be and what should be, and Greg Adams is saying, I'm talking to guys right now who are being Andrew Wilson saying marriage is worth it if this happens. Coach Greg Adams is saying marriage is not worth it right now. So they're arguing two completely different things. And from my perspective, Andrew is not going to really sell a lot of these younger guys that have seen or felt the practical, who've been through when their parents got divorced, who saw their dad get cooked because their mom was a cheating 304. He's not going to be able to sway them with theoretical when they've only seen the practical, So
and right now.
What was that?
I've seen a lot of marriages. Trust me, I've been divorced and it was pretty bad. I got cheated on. The child might not have been mine. All this stuff, right?
Damn.
But I believe in marriage and bad, right? I got robbed the house. I lost the house. Everything else, right? She took everything, not even half, right? But getting back into this, like looking at Andrew and looking at the community, it's like I can see the solution. That's all I'm saying. Is like, but I'm choosing this, right? But it's like if you want to choose one that's a high failing rate of like 70% of secular marriage, and even evangelicals of 64% failure rate. Yeah, you guys can pick that. That's a bad bet. I agree with Coach Adams on that, but that's why I'm picking my side for sure.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you just don't pick your religion, though. I just can't choose to be Orthodox tomorrow.
You can.
No, you can't, because you guys. First of all, I don't believe in. Yeah, no. But here's the thing: belief is not a choice. You have to be convinced. Especially, you just can't switch from being Catholic to Orthodox. You can't switch. You have to be convinced.
I've done it.
Say, hold on. No, but you were convinced, though. Like
that's a switch, though.
No. But the logic made sense. I'm saying that you just can't choose. Your brain. I can't choose to believe that the sky is green. I can't do it. I can't choose to believe the Earth is flat. Now, if someone made us, there could be some possible chance that I see enough evidence to convince me, yes. But it's even worse if you are one religion. It's even harder to convince you one religion over the other. Now, you were convinced, Marte, like you saw the evidence and you converted. That's a great thing because the
marriage rates did it for me too. Yeah, the low divorce rates. That's evidence, and that convinced me too.
Exactly. What I'm saying is, it's not a choice. You have to be convinced. Your brain, it clicks. It's
but I have to choose that still. Even if I get convinced, like let's say I get convinced, I still have to choose whether or not it's convincing enough for me.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree, because you either accept something or you don't.
You're accepting it. Yeah,
you accept it or you don't.
You choose to accept it. That's still
logic is that, like, evidence and logic is that powerful to where the brain just clicks like that. That's when you go, oh, no way. That moment, that's not a choice. When you have that aha moment, that's not I don't choose the aha. It clicks. That's why you feel that notion of surprise. Like, I never thought of that. But
choosing to investigate it is.
I think it's a choice.
I don't think so.
Because you'll have people in a courtroom, right? Jurors with the same evidence, be given the same evidence, but only 3 of them are choosing to say, "Oh, whatever," and then they're
only
divided.
3 of them
That's why
are
you have division.
convinced. Only 3 of them are convinced. The other ones are not. It's not a choice.
But if you have people in a debate that are operating in bad faith, and cognitive dissonance is when you're presented with evidence that's proof, right? But you're choosing not to be convinced too. That's
Well,
why I'd say it's a choice.
Yeah, well,
But
yeah, for that scenario, yeah.
yes, but
Right.
if they're in
This
good
exists
faith
here too.
and their mind is open, if you make a good enough argument, they can't help it. They will be convinced. And that's why I always say, when it comes to a lot of issues or even religion, it would take someone like an Andrew Wilson to convince me to actually like be religious. Now, I don't accept the supernatural claim. I don't think that the laws of logic, which are natural, can come from the supernatural. I can't make that jump. But the way that Andrew can convince people is better than just trying to do the whole evangelical with snakes and all that other crap that the Pentecostals do. But yeah,
I agree.
So yeah.
The lowest divorce rates right this second as we speak, not in make-believe land, not hundreds of years in the future, right this second, as opposed to the system you have of common law divorce, which is sky high and you can't do anything about it.
But he's not trying to advocate for that. He's saying men don't participate in that system at all. See, yeah.
That's what is true. So pointing out what is true is right now you can have a prenup. That is true.
Yeah.
What is true is
and prenups can get holes poked in them real fast.
Prenups are usually held
it's
up in
called
court.
child support.
That is true.
Yeah.
What is true is that you can have a marriage outside of a state because it's a religious institution anyway. You never have to have a license with the state. It's never been necessary. And if you
Yes, but lawyers can still get you for palimony, child support, especially in Canada. Guys, if you live with a chick for like more than 5 years in Canada, if she's a single mom, so the kids aren't yours, you have to pay child support. There was one chick in Vancouver. She had two kids. Turns out she had 3 different guys paying child support. The baby daddy and 2 other simps that she lived with. So she had 3 guys paying child support for her kids, and 2 of them weren't the father.
The only way that can be done is if it's sacramental. And if it's sacramental, it's governed now by the church. That's going to be the community the women are a part of. And so the thing is like, that sounds like a real viable solution.
Well, how does that work right now, though?
Yeah.
That's my issue. If I step out of my house right now and drive downtown to the city, how can I make all those people somehow magically convert to the system that Andrew's talking about? And Greg Adams should have said, fine, I agree with you. But let's just say that men should not get married until the system that you are advertising comes to fruition. Case closed. There you go. Argument's over.
Yeah.
That's it. Right? But it's not going to happen.
Cheers. More fucking degeneracy. Go out and play the field. Hump a lot of chicks. How's that going to help anybody?
And that's another thing that where Andrew, he was talking into Pearly things. He makes this false dichotomy of you're either married or you're banging a bunch of chicks, right? That's not the case. Most guys aren't even having sex or dating at all. There's a small group of dudes that are, but all the rest of the guys, they're staying home, working on that Chevelle, putting their 40K figures together, being left alone. That's a false dichotomy,
Nobody do anything. That's been the progressive mantra for 100 years.
Trying to say,
isn't it wonderful?
The only reason you wouldn't be married is to just merely be a degenerate.
All right, we're returning back to Earth now. First things first, when it comes to this, back in reality, there's no God in marriage. So, Mr. Sky Daddy,
and there's certainly no God in divorce court. I'm telling you, there is no Jesus in divorce court when dudes get cooked. I'm telling you guys, I need you guys, Evil Eddie, Vintage, Reza, find the day that your local courthouse does family court. I'm serious, guys, and go and sit there for 4 hours and watch these dudes get annihilated. I remember, guys, 2006, I had to pay a reckless driving ticket. Long story, right? And I was there on a Tuesday, King County, Seattle. Do you guys know that they have to have extra cops, extra bailiffs? I heard guys screaming, yelling, crying. I heard all, man, you see these guys. You ever see how guys look when they're on like death row? You know what I'm saying? Guys with 1,000-yard stare sitting outside that courtroom because that judge was just destroying them. Guys who haven't seen their kids in years. And they didn't do anything wrong. She cheated, took the kids, hasn't seen his kids in years. And what are these you have to fight harder. Why didn't you fight? Why didn't you fight? What can he do? The court is automatically on her side. It doesn't make, well, why didn't you here? You got knocked out by a prime Mike Tyson in the first round. Why didn't you fight harder? It's Mike Tyson. What are you talking about?
God, religion, that's all great, but there's no God in marriage. At this particular point, when you go through a marriage,
Neon, he says make a video about the passport sisters, right? These B-dubs that try and go to Colombia and stuff and realize how cooked they are. Black men, they don't date us when we're out there. We travel and all the black men. So you're trying to be a 275-pound, big back,
loudmouth
Quisha and go to friggin' Colombia, and you're mad when fine ass Consuela gets all the black men? Are you high? What are you talking about? Steve says only the devils in divorce court stay single. Facts. Thanks for the $2. Guys, thanks for all the donations, guys. I'm gonna try and soundproof my office here to make my sound better. So, guys, that's where all donations are gonna go. So, thanks for all of that, guys. I appreciate that.
Seriously, garlic croutons, dude.
One person decides to not obey the Holy Bible or whatever you're thumping, you have no basis to keep that marriage together.
He's right.
If she decides to leave the church and decides not to listen or excommunicate herself, she's now under the state.
Thank you.
Now, when you're getting divorced, which I'm assuming you've been divorced.
Well, I mean, that's a hell of an assumption to make.
Have you been divorced?
Well, I mean,
have you been married?
Can you tell me, if you can tell me how that has any merit?
Give me a second, because if you've been through one, you would know that there's no God in the divorce court, in the family court. There's no God in there. No one asked you.
There is the state in there.
There is the state. So that's what we're arguing for.
Yeah,
that's when you get married. So you're telling me if, and I'm telling you, well, this is what's going to happen. Even
I can tell you this, though. One thing that I like about Marte, we were on a live stream, and this guy, he does panels with like all black people came on Marte's stream because Marte hit 1,000 subs. So guys, go over and sub to Marte's channel. He does a lot of debates with a bunch of liberals and woke idiots, And this guy was all mad because Marte and I said that we're allergic to B-dubs. that we don't touch B-dubs with a 10-foot pole. He's just like, man, you can't thought police people. You know what I'm saying? Your bedroom is the last bastion of free thought. Marte, you were saying?
It's true. It's the most unsafe place for a person is in a B-dub's belly.
Yeah, facts. Yep. For sure.
You took Sky Daddy into court with you. They would say you prayed to the judge. The judge is the authority in the court. So the God argument is a nice, interesting argument. And I probably am not going to stay on the conversation very long because that's your God. That's your Sky Daddy. Okay. That's your religion. I have a different religion. So who gives you who gives you the authority to change the understanding, the conversation to your religion? That's your religion.
I'm not changing the conversation.
Okay, so it only works if it only works if you believe in your Sky Daddy. That's the only way it works, and that's the only way you're going to advise men.
We're talking about mitigating risk.
No. We're talking about, can men get into a marriage today only under your Sky Daddy? That's what we're assuming.
Okay.
Now, can they do it otherwise?
Yeah, you can have secular marriage.
Okay, go ahead and explain.
Okay, yeah,
make it work.
I just did. So
make it work.
The argument that you have is that marriage is great. It's a great institution.
We already covered this.
Well, what made it great?
We already covered
What
this.
made it great?
Can we go into why it would make it work for your secular? That's the question I ask you. You're asking me questions back. Go ahead and go ahead.
Marriage was great back in the day when these traditional gender norms and religious norms were more popular, were the actual norm of the country. But that's changed. Women got power, and they're never going to get it back. And that's the one thing that Andrew doesn't understand. Now, I do agree that what Andrew says, that if there was that propaganda campaign, that if we treat divorce and being single just like we treat smoking, to where we create this shame and stigma, it might work. It'll probably work. But there's no incentive. There's no economic one for the corporations and the government. And there's no, think about how much money society corporations and lawyers and judges would lose if all the women were actually married. Think about that for a second.
Yep.
So,
to answer the question.
So if you're talking about secular marriage, there's never been any point to it.
I'm sorry?
There's never been any point to secular marriage, ever.
Guys, marriage has been the number one way that families come together and network and build wealth. That's why you see, if that was the case, why
better for kids?
Rulers and kings and queens get married? Why is it that when you go to like Eritrea and Ethiopia, when you don't marry that person, you marry their entire family? Marriage is so important, and it's good for kids. Marriage in general, there's benefits to it if both genders actually want to get married for good reasons and prioritize it. I actually think society would be better if most people were married like back in the 30s, 40s, 50s. Because marriage worked so well that the boomers who were benefiting from the silent generation's marriages, they thought that they could change everything, even though they were living off the overrun of what the silent generation did. This is all the boomers' fault. You guys know how like Disney had all this money, all this investor cash, and all this money from the cough, so they decided to make woke crap. You know what I'm saying? Because they had so much money. That's what the boomers did. They had so much surplus from the post-war boom growing up that time. They thought that they didn't need marriage. They thought that they didn't need gender norms. They thought that they could have the sexual revolution. You know what I'm saying? And now, your millennials,
Woodstock and whatnot.
Yeah, a Generation X, we kind of rode through it, but millennials and Gen Z are on the business end of it. Getting cooked.
Never. What would ever be the point of secular marriage? It's always been a religious institution. That's what made it great. Now, when you say it's a great institution, what made it great for secularists, other than the fact that Sky Daddy and God had all these enforcement arms, and those things had to be enforced socially? Like, for instance, men weren't allowed to run away. And women, right, they had to show cause for these divorces. And they had to be good causes. They had to show it for things like...
But here's the thing.
It's not 1800 anymore, man.
No, but if they were to go back to if they were to get rid of no-fault divorce, then secular marriage would basically be the same meaning as far as getting in and out of as a religious one, right? Because you'd have to actually have a case to get divorced. It would be difficult to get divorced. And I honestly believe that if they were to get rid of no-fault divorce, more men would get married.
Infidelity, right? It was all biblically governed. It was all
anonymous. What's up,
hey,
dude?
Pretty good. I heard some boomer bashing, so I thought
I'd. It's good to see you, man.
Oh man!
Did you see this debate, Anonymous?
No, I didn't know. I've been listening to it for 10 minutes with you guys. So
Is marriage worth it today?
Well, no. Clearly.
All right.
What's the benefit? And I think this is where you're right, AJ. It's where a lot of dudes have decided they've actually thought about it and just been like, what do I get out of this?
Yeah. Which is against our nature. That's the thing. Men, guys, put a 1 if you agree. Men's nature is selfless and women's nature is selfish. That's how it works. But we've got such a bad group of guys. Everyone on the panel, let me know if you agree. Well, we live with the most anti-life, anti-family, anti-capitalist, anti-intellectualism, right?
Anti-God,
idiotic, anti-God group of moronic chicks that have ever lived, right?
Yep.
Can you think of any women on earth that are worse than the modern Western woman? Demons. They're absolute
Loudmouth
demons.
304s.
Loudmouth, knuckleheaded, know-it-all, moronic, in debt, STD having morons. I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
Guys, here's the thing. There are there are some good women left in the West, right? So, for instance, I know some guys that actually met some like country bumpkin chick from like rural Iowa or something, like rural Minnesota. If you go to some like podunk towns, there might still be some good chicks left. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like they're hard to find. They really, 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 really are.
Now there's gonna be like a diesel truck 304 at that point.
Yeah, or there are some chicks that really do believe in their religion. You know what I'm saying? That are actually religious, like Marte said. Fine. But they're few and far between, and you got to keep them away from these knuckleheaded 304s.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing that women hate is seeing another woman win. Let's just say Marte meets a woman at the Orthodox church, and they get married, and she's like, I want to be a nurse, works at the hospital, and the moment she puts that picture of her in Marte at the wedding on her desk, all of a sudden it's, I'm gonna kill your bitch ass bitch. Yeah. All these chicks are gonna try and put in her head, oh, Marte is probably cheating, he's dead, and try to break up his marriage. That's how it works. That's how women are.
He doesn't work hard enough.
Yeah.
He just
Yep, it's true. So
awfully governed.
Yeah, you don't even have to go as far as like that. That's personal. Even just on social media, you get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's true. Yep.
Guy daddy guy you like so little. But that's what made the institution great in the first place. And what you're talking about here, you're making a point.
No, it's no fault divorce. That's the thing that Andrew Wilson doesn't get. Once they made no fault divorce, the marriage laws didn't match religious laws. Guys, do you know divorce only became legal in Ireland like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Like in Ireland, it was illegal to get divorced. Illegal.
I mean, it was really recent since they got the baby deletions.
Yeah. Yep.
Point.
Super recent.
That divorce is bad, and yet I agree, divorce is bad. So what we're really talking about.
Well, once again, if most marriages end in divorce, marriage is going to probably end up in divorce. Therefore, marriage is bad.
Is how do we mitigate the risk for divorce? And we have two different methods here.
Well, the conversation is marriage good for men. That's the conversation.
But it is. We already said it's good for men. That's not even
not if they end up getting divorced.
Now, how do we make it better since they're avoiding
it?
Since men or women are avoiding it.
It sounds like the thing that you think makes it bad is divorce.
Oh, anonymous. Did you see that Mom Domi got elected a mayor in New York?
Well, I mean, it's New York's already swimming around in its own shit right now.
Grip, sorry.
Crazy.
If you were waiting there for a little while, sorry, man, but I got to give you.
You're out here building a new nation for black people. It's time for you to start paying some dues, nigga. I ain't giving you shit.
Secret, dude. Is marriage worth it today?
No, it's not. And I'm going to qualify it. It's not worth it because men, we've made it not worth it. And until we get smarter, because so long story short, I remember 8 years ago. I was renting a car, and at this time, Enterprise would come pick you up and take you back after you drop your car off. And so dropped off the car, and I'm in this van with several women, and we're talking. And I made the point that marriage is a business. And of course, and one was a B-dub, but of course, these women were up in arms. And I'm like, if marriage is not a business, go tell that to a divorce attorney. And so, and what I mean by that is the reason why it's not worth it is think about it from this perspective. In this day and age, it's contractual. And what business or who would you go into business with if they were incentivized to break the contract and come out better and not be penalized? And that's what No Fourth Divorce has done. It has given women the ability to come up, because at the end of the day, men overwhelmingly marry down, women overwhelmingly marry up. And when you look at what was it, 8 of the top 10 richest women in the world, their wealth were accumulated through divorce.
Yeah.
Yep.
So don't tell me marriage is not a business. And until we as men start thinking of things as protecting ourselves, that if I was to ever fall on my head and decide to get married, guys, intervention time. But I'm telling you right now, I'm putting such an ironclad prenup together that you can leave if you want, because at the end of the day, the locks on my door are meant to keep people out, not in. You can leave anytime you want, but you are not going to leave with any of my assets, or you'll come in with what you came in with.
Yeah, but hold on. If they got rid of no fault divorce, would you get married? Had to stop and think. See, I told you. Once they did no fault divorce is when it really when men really started getting cooked.
So I've been engaged 3 times, and and yeah, and thank God. Oh my goodness.
Dodging them like the Matrix.
Like the Matrix.
And so, and this is a lesson for the younger men that are out here. I had to have a come to Jesus moment within myself, because I looked back at a lot of my relationships and the women that I've been involved with. And for the grace of God, I kept saying to myself, woo, I dodged a bullet. Woo, I dodged a bullet. And what I like that literally, this chick saved me from myself. And I had to start taking ownership of, no, I was making poor choices and bad decisions, and I can't keep relying on these women crashing out, because one day a smart one's going to come along, play the long game. So yeah. And so now where I'm at in my life, it's not worth it to me. I'm too old to get married now. I'm too old.
Yeah. Can you imagine getting married now, like at your age, and being married for 4 years?
I literally have more to lose.
Yeah, exactly. And then starting all over. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying? It's because they're staring down the rest of their lives at 55, said, I have to start all over. All because this woman felt like she needed to leave me.
I'm gonna say something that's I'm gonna be very vulnerable here for a moment. In my life, several times I've lost everything and had to rebuild. And so I've gone through 3 times in my life where I've lost everything, literally 0, 0, 0, and had to rebuild. And now in my 50s, I just don't have it in me to rebuild. I just don't have it in me. So I have no choice but to move differently, because if I was to lose everything right now, I might be one of those people, and I hate to think like that, but I just don't have it in me anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm being real here. I'm being honest and real with you guys.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Of course, not marriage.
Correct.
Then
Listen,
we need to mitigate divorce.
We're 15 minutes in, and we are in the land of reality. You finally called up. Can you tell me how we can get to the secular marriage? I mean, I've given you a chance. So you're dragging your feet.
So again, secular. There's never been any point to secular marriage ever.
Now listen, marriage is for child creation. It would be great for child community
it's
and
not
all
just
of
for
these
that.
things. And now listen, by the time the religious aspects got into marriage, they were chopping people's heads off and burning Bibles. So listen, I know we want to take it back to the past.
That has nothing to do with this, right? Like, he doesn't need to keep bringing up the religion. Andrew Wilson's trying to argue from religion, but he's talking about the religious system, right? Once again, the religion and the laws were okay, or were matching, or were in parallel until no-fault divorce. Then, because people still get married in churches all the time, right? But they get divorced in court.
Act like the past was better, but there's always a negative part of the past. If you go back and you look at the English, this has all been there. People were getting their heads chopped off. The Crusaders were doing their things across countries, and they were spreading Christianity through threats and violence.
What does that have to do with anything?
Now, that's what you're trying to uplift. That's what you're trying to uphold.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
You wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
That's where you're lacking.
I have no
so
idea.
Catch up. You're sitting
What
across
does the
from me.
Crusades have to do with divorce?
That was when your holy marriage was the best marriage that you're trying to go to. Now, listen.
In the
if we're trying to drag it back-
1950s? Were we crusading in the 1950s?
You
What the hell
talked
are you
about-
talking about?
Yeah, this
That's
has
what
nothing
Greg
to do
Adams
with what
is
he's
doing.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
You talked about the institution of marriage for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Sir, do you need me to catch you up on what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
but,
You're having trouble
you know what
keeping up
marriage-
with me.
do you know what
You're
marriage looked
having
like
trouble
50 years
keeping up
ago?
with me. You said
I am.
2,000 years ago.
Truly,
and
your
I told you
intellect is
2,000
dizzying.
years ago, they were chopping people's heads off.
Which
need
has
you
what to do with
I
anything?
need you to catch up with me, sir.
Okay.
If you want to take things back to the past, you have to accept everything as the past. You can't just cherry pick. Now,
What?
here's the thing. You're cherry picking. If you want to take things back to tradition, take it all the way back. Why stop at the 50s? Take it back to the 1890s.
What you're saying right now is so incoherent. I actually don't even understand
Well,
it.
that's what. Listen, when you're
It's
when you're running out of bullets,
incoherent.
when you're running out of bullets,
Well, it's
the
just
last thing you do
incoherent.
is the shame.
Yeah, this is
All
not
I'm not even
becoming
trying to
a
shame you.
productive
It's just
conversation.
incoherent.
I need you to catch up with me.
Okay, catch me up.
Just say you're lacking if you can't keep it up.
It's
All right.
an
Now here's the
incoherent-
problem.
it's
Here's the
incoherent.
problem. Here's the problem.
Now he doesn't have to go there. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's being
maybe-
disingenuous.
Yeah.
Problem. Here's the problem.
I don't know what to tell you.
Here's the problem you're having.
2,000 years ago, they were chopping heads off. Who gives a shit?
Listen,
what does that
you
have to do with
said
anything?
2,000 years ago. I'm coming up with yours. Your holy religious 2,000 years ago.
But
It's
that's
been
what
a part
Greg
of
What does
Adams
that
was
have
just
to
trying to
do
do
with
to him.
this?
Exactly. Here's the problem. You're cherry picking.
Cherry picking what?
Listen,
I'm listening.
I'm gonna slow you down. I'm gonna
Slow
slow
me
you
way
down
down.
because I see what you're doing here. I'm gonna slow you down.
Okay.
See,
because
and
it's hard.
now he's being disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Like
I have no idea what this freaking guy is on about.
He went off.
He's filibustered. He's filibustering basically.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you should have just stuck to the main point of saying,
Thank you.
all well and good what you're saying.
But
Tell
it's
me
not
how it helps
happening.
me today.
Facts. Yep.
Yeah. And that's basically it. That's been the crux of the whole thing is Andrew Wilson trying to insert his belief system, but it's not functioning in the now, which Greg Adams is in.
And he seems to be picking at Christianity a lot, and I'm like, I feel like saying to the guy, like, dude, what do you think the Muslims and like the savages in all over the different places of the world were doing? Let me tell you, it was probably a lot worse than what the Crusaders were doing.
Look at Anonymous, dude. He said that.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
You know what I mean?
Anonymous is not playing games, dude. He's
I don't buy this. I don't buy this stupid crap where people talk about like, oh, these evil crusaders and the noble savage and all this stuff. Sorry, I don't believe it.
And it's so funny too that everyone acts like somehow Christians. And guys, I used to be this way. It's Anonymous too. Used to think Christians were so intolerant and so evil and blah blah blah. I would actually say that out of all around the world, Christians are actually the most tolerant. The most tolerant countries are, especially in the West. You see Christians, you can say anything you want about Jesus. You can step on a Bible. You could take a dump in a church, and you'll be fine. But you try doing that to a mosque, you're cooked.
Oh, you're cooked.
You're cooked.
Dude, the Christians used to give their enemies food when they were captured.
Yeah.
Nobody used to do that.
Yep.
Hard for you to keep up.
It is.
I understand. I understand because you haven't been across. This is your
bedazzled.
toughest debate. Your audience knows this.
Oh, it's rough.
There's no God in marriage.
Okay.
in the United States.
Yeah.
Can we agree to that? When you get to divorce, there's no God in marriage.
Can't agree to that.
We need to agree to it because when you go into divorce court, there's no God.
Yeah,
you
but
can't bring in your God and your Bible. And at that particular point, none of your ecclesiastics marriage works.
Okay.
Period.
So the thing is, you just said, can we agree that there's no God in marriage? And then
you don't have to agree.
But hang on, calm down. And then you switched over to divorce. There's no God in divorce. But those are two different questions and proposition. Hang on, relax. The second thing is that me saying that what made marriage a great institution is this whole Sky Daddy character, and that the institution has been in place for 2,000 years, and it's been, hang on, calm down. And it's been a strong institution. I'm not actually sure how tying in that at the time they cut people's heads off, what that has to do with the fact that in the 1950s and 40s, you still had 95% of these marriages staying together. This is not ancient history. This is not even early American history. That's that's in your grandfather's lifetime.
It's still in
basically.
the past,
And then, by
though.
the way, that was the case for black marriages as well. Very strong institutions. But all of those institutions were that way because they followed that whole Sky Daddy thing. They were like, oh, that Sky Daddy's going to smite us if we don't. And so what you do here is you're giving the classic progressive argument, which is, well, you know, guys, it is true that it's a great institution, and it is true it's the best place in the world to have children for the continuation of the species. And also, it's fantastic for men's health. It's fantastic for their mental health. It's great for them in almost every way. But that divorce thing is real bad. And I counter. You're right. That divorce thing is real bad. We have now a center of agreement. But now we're going back to the marriage in the West thing, which is that whole great institution problem. Well, if we agree that what made it good, which you just did, is, hey, that Sky Daddy guy, and then I point out that right now you can still utilize that Sky Daddy guy for an ecclesiastical marriage outside of the state. Hang on. And the only thing you could do is say, well, what about common law? But you can't govern anybody from common law. And at least in the ecclesiastical institution, you have social pressures on women to stay married. You can't offer a man anything like that. Give me a single social pressure you can offer that would actually keep these marriages together. One. What?
But he's not advocating to keep marriage together. He's saying men shouldn't get married.
Yeah.
He's not offering a solution. He's saying until there is one, don't get married. Simple. You know what I mean?
And Andrew brings up shame. Andrew brings up shame. I have to tell him, like, Andrew, like, women don't seem to have shame anymore.
Yeah, no.
We do have it.
Yeah.
That a small here. What percentage of women do you think have shame now?
So if you find 100% solution in a minority, is it still 100% solution?
There is no such thing as 100% solution.
We do have that. So if you look at it,
statistics and math, nothing's ever 100.
Right, I can agree with that.
99.99%.
But if you look at it, like, we have the highest percentage of like 91% success rate. And if I could point you in that direction, I'd say, well, that's a better one than the, high failure rate that we see in America right now. I would lean towards that. That's what I would say.
But here's the thing, though. That's until that becomes the majority that men can do, the men nowadays should not participate. They should sit and wait for your religion to grow big enough to where it can have a
You mean it's not about can do, it's like won't do. I think if they want to do it, they can do, but they don't want to.
No, think of this. Orthodoxy is so small. It's fastly growing, but it's been in the United States since the beginning, right? There's been Orthodox Christians here the entire time, and the prevailing culture in America is Protestantism, right? That's just how America.
I agree. Protestantism sucks, and it has a high failure rate.
I understand that, but what can guys do, right? When there's the system we have set up now, and that the majority of women are not in that system.
I would say if you're not Orthodox, to be honest, I'm just going to be blunt and say this. If you're not Orthodox, don't get married. It's stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are,
that's what we've been saying.
If you are getting married and you are Orthodox, by all means, get married. It's a great solution. Yeah.
So there's only one
That's
solution
what
that
Andrew's
seems to be
too, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the only thing I can think of that would actually, and it's horrible, but it would be Sharia law. That's the only thing that would make it definite.
No, guys,
that would be horrible. We don't want
horrible.
that.
It'd be horrible, but it'd be the only safe solution for guys.
But the number one solution, the
we have
easiest
to let
thing
the
would
market
be
correct itself.
yes,
Check
but
it out
is men need to check out, and then they'll have to woo us back. But I think the easiest thing to do would be somehow get rid of no-fault divorce. That would bring marriage to back how it was before the 60s.
I agree. That's a start. Yeah.
That's the easiest thing. It doesn't involve changing religions. That will make the legal institution or governmental institution of marriage match the religious one. Because in religions, either the divorce is not an option, or you really have there really has to be a good case for it. Catholics can divorce, but there has to be a really good reason. You know what I'm saying? Like the priest has to be like, yo, he's giving you the tiger uppercut, or this chick's a 304 whoring around town. Like there has to be a reason, and that's what no-fault divorce that's separated secular marriage from religious marriage. That actually made a different type of marriage, right? Where there was secular marriage where you can just go in and out of, as compared to religious marriage. But if we can do that one thing, I guarantee, because that'll add stability. That'll basically make it where men it'll be a lot harder for men to get cooked. It'll make it so that a marriage contract is the same as any other thing, where it
actually be almost like more quality in a way.
Yes. Marriage licenses and stuff basically don't mean anything, because you can walk straight out of them for no reason. You can't do that to any other contract that signed.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a contract. Yeah.
Yeah, not a business license, not a credit card, not anything. If you leave, you're penalized. But if you're married and she leaves, she gets rewarded for it. So I think that should be the option that they're talking about, is make marriage more attractive to men by getting rid of no-fault divorce. But women are not going to have that, because they're low down, dirty, on the 304. You know what I'm saying? Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Guys, thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for the cash apps, guys. The Croutons Fund is going to be for sound deadening in here, so I'll have better sounds. So, guys, thanks for all the super chats, guys. I appreciate that.
So, AJ, here's why it won't work. What you're suggesting, because keep in mind, and I think you guys alluded to it earlier, when you give someone, people are very reluctant to relinquish leverage or power.
Oh yeah,
and when women have power,
I agree.
They become monsters.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, when you look at the elected officials,
Secret. So we had talked about this earlier, that government and corporations would lose so much money.
Exactly.
Power. If people got married and stayed married. There's a market, there's an agenda.
And
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
We as men, and that's what I was saying before, we as men need to stop loving idealistically. And start loving realistically. We need to stop being selfless and start becoming more selfish. And we need to stop loving unconditionally and start loving with conditions. And we need to protect ourselves. And like I look at what was that soccer player that had everything in his mom's name?
No, hey, Secret. Akon just did the same thing. His whore of a wife tried to divorce him, and then she found out he only has $10,000 in his bank account.
City boy.
Akon, the singer. You know who he is, right? Akon. Yeah. So now she'll probably owe him child support and alimony. That's what I'm talking about.
Actually, have to pay him.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I agree. In Marte, you don't think that there's some type of governmental or some type of corporate agenda to actually suppress institutions like yours that actually promote families and marriage that are successful? You don't think that there's people out there looking at the Orthodox churches and saying, we can't have that religion spread because guess what? You know, everyone's going to get married and have kids, and then women won't be buying Birkin bags and $90,000 Infinities anymore.
Freaking G-Wagons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think that there's people out there that have had you guys on their radar?
Yeah, they're gonna have to start. They're gonna have to start offing us because it won't. I don't think feminism will infiltrate the Orthodox Church. From what I see, it's too much of a stronghold at this point.
So yeah, but the craziest thing, guys, we went over this a while ago. You guys see how like the Mormons are taking in single moms and everything now? It's crazy, man.
Money.
Yeah.
No, what's going on?
Mormons are cooked.
What are they doing, AJ?
Yeah. So they're church attendance is down across the board, especially with men. Men are still religious, but men aren't going to church because a lot of these churches, Protestantism or whatever, the Pentecostals, they're all, prosperity gospel, gynocentrism, and men aren't going to go and put money in the collection plate for Pastor Pork Chop doing backflips trying to say that men are trash, right? So the Mormons, they're boosting their numbers by making single mother outreach. They're saying, come one, come all, and we'll take you. We actually went on this Mormon church's site. Snowboard, you were there, right? You remember that? We went on that one website and it was like talking. I'll try and find it, guys. What to do a rise of Christian feminism stream soon. And yeah, they're cooked.
Can I answer something
Yeah.
you just said? This would be interesting.
I can't wait.
You said,
but can you answer that question? Then
no, before.
Oh, of
the
course.
1940s.
Of course, you gotta ask me a question.
Because listen, I'm listening.
The good
I'm
thing
listening
about
to you.
this
You asked the question at the
is
end.
it made, we've got more out of being able to talk about this debate than the debate has actually done.
That's true. Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
You would have asked it at the beginning, possibly I might have been able to address it. But let me address this point.
Okay.
You said the 1940s and 1950s with this imaginary sky daddy controlling marriages. That sounds like enforcement, because by the time the
Doesn't it?
1970s came around, the very first chance women got to file a no-fault divorce without need for evidence, without need to have a private investigator to prove an affair.
Was no fault the 70s?
Yes, it was the 70s, started by Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I'll educate you.
But hang on.
Came along. Hold on for a second. No. I got the
Go
floor
ahead.
here.
Yeah,
I got the floor.
Because it started in California,
was
and
in California,
and then became a national.
So
thing.
you said the religious institutions governed it and made it great. The 1970s came along, and as soon as they did, women started to file divorces at record rates, which is back to my conversation. Soon as you remove the authority of Sky Daddy, now you're back with the state. And
no. When you made the laws not aligned with the religion, women chose to leave. It used to be that they were kind of parallel. Once you got married in the church, it was hard to get divorced, or you didn't get divorced. And once you got married legally, it was the same. Sorry, guys.
What started
But it
to
also
get more
became a
popular?
hustle.
Progressivism.
Yeah. 1969, California did no fault divorce. And by the 70s, 37 states did it. And then 2010, New York was the final state to actually allow no fault divorce.
Right when the boomers had their fun after Woodstock.
Yeah,
Then they wanted to settle
That's how
down.
they pay their penance.
There we go.
That's how they pay their penance.
Funny how it all lined up perfectly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh my god. I didn't think
That's
of
the same. That's the same with the full auto skitty pops. As soon as the boomers got of age and got them all, and we were old enough to buy full auto skitty pops, they made them be class 3.
now you have difficulty, and now the risk is now greater.
Oh.
So that's the issue that
Then
you
it
have.
sounds like men should be moving towards Sky Daddy then, because it mitigates their risk.
The courts the nation should be
There's
moving
no
towards
courts.
that. But how do you enforce that?
What court? What court?
Your
You're
land
not
is-
getting a marriage from the state. What courts are involved here?
Everything you told me is a make-believe scenario.
Guys, what woman out there is are you gonna say, let's get married but not involve the state? What percentage of women is gonna want to walk down the aisle but not actually get married?
How many women do you can reach to a prenup suggestion?
Yeah, women don't even like prenups, and you think that, oh yeah, we're just not gonna have a marriage certificate. That's crazy.
It's that whole thing that you were saying, AJ. It's like when they go and get married, right? They want the big white wedding. They want everyone looking at them. They want the big ring. They want all this stuff, right? But the thing is with the marriage, there's actually a commitment involved.
Yes.
And that's the one thing that they don't want.
Yeah.
Is the commitment, but they want all the bells and whistles that come along with it.
And guys, we all know that a white dress is supposed to mean she's a virgin.
And I say it again, you've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
I need a UV light over that dress.
Did you see that one guy? Who was he? He was a guy on TikTok, I believe. On TikTok and Facebook, and he was like, he had like a ski mask on, and he was like, yo, I'm just putting this out there. I hope this goes viral. He goes, no. He was an Uber driver. Sorry. He goes, yo, if your name is Sean and your wife's name is Cara or whatever, and you got married October 12th, 2024, he goes, she cheated on you at a bachelorette party the night before, bro. He goes, dude, I drove them home and I heard them talking all about it. She was talking. They had, they were at the male strip club, and she went in the VIP room, and she was talking about how that stripper did all types of things to her, dude. And they were all giggling and laughing about it. He goes, Sean, your wife's name is Kiara. You got married the next day, so that was October, whatever, in Vegas. She's white. She's about 5'2", 135 pounds. Her friends' name were Brooke and Ashley. I was like, what? He goes, I'm just letting you know, big dog. That's
how they're laying pipe.
Call me surprised. I mean, if it was a bachelor party, I already assumed something happened.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he gave him a solid, bro. That's good heads up, man.
Yeah.
Did you guys
too late.
Do you guys see the guy who went up to the guy's ring camera and he had his hood up? Look, he goes,
yeah, I did see this.
I'm not gonna let you know who I am, but I'm just letting you know that your wife is cheating on you, bruh. He goes, every day you leave for work at like 8, and right around 10 o'clock, this big red pickup truck comes and parks in your driveway, and he stays for about 2.5, 3 hours, homeboy. He's cheating on you. He goes, I'm not going to tell you where I live because I don't want to get involved, but I'm just doing you a solid, man. And then he runs away.
That's awesome.
I don't know if there was an edit on that one, because I saw one where the guy actually calls him back over the speakerphone and he says, that red truck was for me. And it was it was the guy. Someone edited it. Okay.
Yeah.
You can do it right now. How is it make believe?
How do you just make more people be religious and have stigma and shame? You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't, especially women. You understand? These 304s now, come on.
Do that when people the
Here's what
marriages through state.
Yeah.
I know you want to go
I'll
back
tell
to
you how.
Ecclesiastics. This
No,
is going
I'm
to be a
telling you, you
problem.
can do it right
Okay.
this second.
Okay,
You
can
go do it right now.
You can do it at this particular
You
point.
can't do.
However,
What do you mean?
Here's the problem.
Okay.
Can you get men to do it?
Yes.
Okay. You might be able to think you can get men to do it, but as soon as they do it, I want you to stick around for the average of 8 to 10 years. When these men start getting divorced, see what you're doing is you're leading.
We've
men,
been watching
for a
it for
second.
longer.
You've been leading. You're going to lead men into a burning building.
Oh.
And the reason why, and this is a famous quote by Martin Luther King, is because the laws of integration didn't catch up fast enough for what he wanted for people to integrate. And what happened was it took him 12 to 15 years to realize that he led men or black people into a burning building in which integration was not possible at the time.
Okay.
You are also proposing the same thing. And I would like for you to stick around to see the results of what you're proposing, because eventually you would have to pay the price. How did Martin Luther King pay the price? You would have to pay the price for the men that you.
Now, what do you even like? I get it, but why even have this part of the conversation, right? Like, I don't know. They are talking past each other. Like he's saying he's talking about something that Andrew didn't say, and then Andrew is not. Like I said, he's talking about what men should do now. Andrew's talking about what society should move towards for men. But Andrew's arguing that he can make the change now, and what I don't get is how. How?
Misled.
So Martin Luther misled men, and that's why he was killed?
I said he misled black people. You missed that part. He said, okay, let me repeat it, because you're slow. All right, you're definitely slow. Let me tell you something.
What are you doing?
Martin Luther King said specifically, related to black people and civil rights, I'll speak slowly for you, that he believed at the end, he led them into a burning building. I'm going to speak slower. The reason why is because the laws of integration did not catch up with what he would like to present. Black people weren't ready to integrate. As a result, he said, I may have led my people, that means his people, into a burning building.
Okay.
I would like for you, under your scenario, if your movement takes off, to see the results, because it took Martin Luther King 12, 15 years to see the results of his efforts. You're proposing something very extreme that majority of people aren't going to do. But let's just say because you like to hide in the clouds of make-believe, if this works, I would love to see you represent these men in a divorce when they get their head bit off by these so-called women that are forced by Sky Daddy to stay in these marriages.
This is really, like, I don't even understand how
you don't understand. I know you have a hard time understanding.
I do. I don't actually even understand how to respond to a lot of this because it's so incoherent. But I'm going to try anyway.
Oh yeah, see, this is. So let's start. This is his always incoherent when he understands.
Now,
Perhaps you.
Now all this, Greg Adams is being too extra here, right? Like he's trying to get a gotcha moment here, and I would say that okay, guys, please don't type in all caps in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know what Martin Luther King has to do with this conversation.
I don't get it either.
I think I understand maybe why. They're each kind of filibustering because it seems like, because remember, this is like to a Gen Z audience kind of a little bit. So whoever's talking more, it seems like they're right more.
Oh.
Control. Like, I think that's part of maybe what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Whoever's talking the most
because
I don't think Andrew's doing that.
No, I think
it's also
Andrew's
a
not
brand
filibustering at all.
thing.
No, I think that this whole debate could have lasted less than 20 minutes. Andrew,
this is a brand versus brand thing in which they're all trying to have gotcha moments because they're both YouTube channels. So the more clippable moments they have with the more clippable moments they have that they can advertise and say, I think
Greg Adams is actually doing that more than Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, that I agree.
Also the stuff saying Sky Daddy and all. Because guys, I used to do the same thing back when I debated religious people, Sky Daddy and all these these
antagonistic terms that are necessary.
Buzzwords, right? Like bring up MLK. I understand, but Andrew's argument once again, he's saying that if we could turn the majority of the United States into a theocratic worldview, then there wouldn't be divorce. Now, which makes sense because the more theocratic that a country is, the less divorce there is. That makes sense, right? But Greg Adams is saying it doesn't matter because there'll still be the legal option of divorce, and women are going to take it. So the logic does track, right? I just think that at this point, Greg Adams he's calling him slow. He's just insulting him, and I don't like that.
Well, Andrew did talk about taking the legal process out of it. There wouldn't be divorce because you'd never have a court to go to, which that's Andrew's point too.
Then what legal benefits would you get for being married?
I'm glad you asked
wouldn't be
that.
any?
So in civil unions, you have all the same benefits of marriage, and they don't have a court to go to either.
So
It would just be like lawsuits, is like spilling hot coffee. It would be the same thing. Like you just sue somebody. Something.
So the church would do marriages, but people would just do civil unions on legally.
No, it would just it would be like, because if you think about it, civil unions have the same benefits, tax write-offs, all the same thing, right? You can get everything that you can get from a marriage from a civil union. But churches, they would have the community, like you would have a communal part, there would be shame, everything else. So it'd be like a whole group. Women are communal in nature, right? So they have something to lean on. So there's more incentivized, more benefits and all that stuff. So I mean, there's it's better percentage wise and everything else. But yeah, I know it's a small percentage, but it's a better option.
What I'm saying, hold on, is that the church should do the marriage part in the church, but people should apply for civil union.
I think so, because if you think about this, what were same-sex marriage people doing before marriage, right? Civil unions getting all the same benefits as everything else with marriage people. They just wanted the social stigma of being married, right? So that's what they fought for. So they can be equal.
Yeah, well, guys, who suffered the most from same-sex marriage being made legal, right? Who's the one that
lesbians.
And the funny thing about it,
that one picture with Trudeau gets me every time.
And the funny thing about it, when you look at, women always say men are the problem, but when you look at same-sex marriages, gay men marriages last the longest.
Yeah, and only 18% of them get divorced.
Statistically, less domestic violence. Whereas women, highest rate of divorce and higher levels of domestic violence.
That's true. Yeah. Yep. So, as these lesbians meet each other, move in immediately, and then all of a sudden it's
ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
It's true.
What a net.
Yeah.
Hey, AJ, I want to share a quick story. I dated a chick that used to be a lesbian, and she was cute. We were sleeping around for a little bit, but I think she just used me as a stud to get pregnant, to be honest with you. I'm serious. Like, I'm sketching whether I should even say this. She might be trying to get me to collect, but I'm for real. I think she literally just used me to get pregnant and then ran back with her girlfriend. I'm serious.
Wow, look at that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Not surprised at all, honestly. Those people are crazy.
Yeah, I never heard from her again. I mean, she seemed like she liked it. I didn't see anything lesbian going down there when we were doing it.
Well, he was in the middle of... Yeah, guys... You guys know, never, ever, ever. If there's some chick who's like, yeah, let's have a baby or like we'll have a baby and you'll never have to be involved. I just want a baby, or like my wife and I want a baby. Guys, don't ever say yes to that. How many times have we seen guys do that and get put on the hook for child support? There was a guy who donated sperm to a sperm bank. These two lesbians had his kid. They tracked him down, and he had to pay child support.
Yeah, I think I saw that story.
Diabolical.
Don't understand. That might be what it is, and it's okay to say you don't understand.
See,
and I can speak slowly.
I don't understand now, but I'm going to tell you why.
Dismissive. I mean,
Oh, come on.
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. When you're losing, just say you're losing, and I can speak.
Let me know when I can.
And this is why I think at this point, Andrew's winning because this is just uncalled for. Greg Adams is arguing like a chick right now. This, you're losing. You're intimidated. You can't keep.
You just don't get it. You don't get it, man.
Why? Why are you being extra? Andrew's winning.
But also, Andrew Wilson, I feel could have made a simpler point on how to like shut him up and say, okay, here's a reason why.
Yes, but Greg Adams won't shut up and let him talk though. You know what I'm saying?
They're each like meandering too much when I should feel like they could say like makes a smaller point that was more powerful instead of like just kind of like.
No, I actually don't think Andrew Wilson's meandering. He's getting straight to the point. The problem with this is he gets interrupted a lot, and then he wants to get to the point, but it's like it's hard to because I do debates often, and if somebody's interrupting you all the time, you're going to be forced to meander a little bit because it's going to interrupt your train of thought constantly. It's rough getting back to the point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think of that.
Talk and he gas out. Go ahead. Okay.
Go ahead.
So here's
typical tactic, but you can work that.
See, why is
there we go.
Typical tactic. Why? Like, why do you have to even do that?
Against
Okay,
these
so I still
OnlyFans
can't
girls.
talk.
Hey,
Go
listen,
ahead.
you can work that tactic against those OnlyFans girls that you debate.
And there it is. What does Andrew Wilson being on whatever have to do with this debate right here? Andrew Wilson
he's going
is one of the best. Hold on, Andrew Wilson he's one of the best debaters that I've ever seen. He can debate anyone, anytime, and he's done debates with very prominent, liberals, atheists, all this other stuff. What he's viral for is dunking on these knuckleheaded broads on whatever. But Andrew's one of the best debaters I've ever seen. And once again, anyone who goes, well, you might be able to do that against these OnlyFans chicks, that shows that he already has this preconceived notion, and that I honestly think, like I said, we have another hour and a half to go, but this shows that Greg Adams came into this kind of disingenuous with to try and prove some point that Andrew probably thinks he's too good and he has to put him in his place.
I agree. He's debated lawyers, professors, probably the best in the industry. You're talking about experts in their field of what they do, authors, writers, and I'm just like, well, he's. But notice how he's not attacking him back or belittle. He's trying to get straight back to the argument. So I applaud him for that.
Yeah. There's actually, I think it's that one with that What About My Argument channel. They've been posting a lot of Andrew's old stuff when he first started. When he was actually debating more prominent professors and stuff back in his early days when he wasn't popular. It's like he kind of downgraded and started debating more YouTubers and stuff as he got more popular. But it seems like he was actually debating more academics when he was smaller, and no one knew who he was.
I can tell you why that happened. The reason why that happened is because once he started getting more popular and destroying these people, they started looking at his content and said, "Fuck that! I'm not going to debate this guy." So it's like now stupid people are arguing him now more than ever because they just walk into brick walls. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Debating 23-year-old ignorant women.
They're smarter than you.
But now
they're
sitting across from a person.
They're always smarter than you.
Yeah, you're sitting across from a person here.
Oh no,
that's looking at a Neanderthal say you don't understand something.
No,
very
no,
simple.
wait a minute.
This is
Now,
the simplest thing that you can understand.
Okay.
Your go.
Are you sure?
Please.
I can actually do it this time.
Please put me to sleep. Please.
Okay, so
put me to sleep.
Here's why it's incoherent, and there's a bunch of this I don't understand. You keep on saying that these men are going to get divorced, and yet I'm proposing non-state marriages. How are they going to get divorced? Well, you can only say then via common law. But again, you have no defense yourself against
these are if scenarios.
I don't.
I mean, come on.
I don't.
Please, you said I was going to debate somebody that's going to come.
Why do you keep filibustering?
Scenario.
I let you speak.
Scenario.
I let you speak the entire time.
Give me something to speak about.
Okay.
You're giving me
I'm not asking
scenario.
you to speak.
You're trying to invite me to your church.
Also,
Please give me a real scenario.
You guys got to remember, they're trying to make the content probably more spicy than it needs to be to get more views too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Andrew's not really trying to do that. He's not that type of person, though.
Yeah, I talked to Andrew before this stream, and he said he just wanted to get it over with and get straight to the point. That's it, man.
But here's
And
the
he
thing:
didn't want to do the clip.
even when Andrew does TikTok invasions, he still focuses on the discussion. He only starts talking shit when they start trying to really talk shit. But I just think that all this that Greg Adams is doing is extra. You know, calling him names and calling him a Neanderthal, and he doesn't need to do that.
It's very
And then-
childish.
yeah, that's quite childish. Just argue the points.
For me to
Come
do
on,
it.
please.
Now, here's the thing, guys. Once again, this is why I don't do debates, because, guys, ask Chris Mike. I was on his panel, and this dude was just, man. And I was like, dude, you're an idiot. You're either dumb, or you're a moron, or you're both. You know what I'm saying? I will call people. You know what I'm saying? Marte can do the debate. He's a lot more calm than I am, you know, because I just can't deal with stupidity. You guys know, you guys watch these online debates, and you know that someone's been caught lying or caught they're incorrect, but their pride won't let them stop arguing that stupid point. That's when I call them out and be like, "You are a moron. You are." Well, so when you call names, you lose. Well, I would lose a lot because I'd be cussing, swearing, and calling people names. I can't handle it. I can't.
1,000%.
Yeah,
I agree. I have to debate First Amendment. You know, you've seen First Amendment before, right?
Oh, that guy.
I have to debate him tomorrow that Transformer women are women. That's what I have to debate him tomorrow about.
We will react. If I can have you on at some point and we can react to that. Guys, this First Amender guy is one of the biggest soy milk drinking goofballs you will ever see in your entire life, because there's no testosterone in this guy at all. At all. Guys, he is like, he's imagine like Destiny and Dean Parker, all of those soy boys, and Matt, but worse. And here's the craziest part.
That's insane.
Marte, how many subs does that First Amender guy has? He has like 1,000 subs, right?
No, he has less than me. And guess what? I'll tell you guys this. He's worse than Destiny. And I've debated Destiny and beat Destiny in debate. He's worse than Destiny.
This First Amendment guy, he'll stream for like 5 hours to like 2 people. And he has like debate a liberal, any Trump people, whatever, I'll crush you. It's like, who are you talking to? No one's in your chat. Like, what are you? Every now and then, someone calls him to troll him, but he acts like he's so important. It's like, dude, you have like one person in your chat, and that's probably your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? It makes no sense. He's such a goof. Yeah, guys, we'll have to react to that, and I'll have Marte on. But this guy is such a, Transformers are Transformers, and we need open borders and down with capitalism. Andrew Wilson's cooked him. Rob Norris cooked him. Marte has cooked him. Everyone's cooked him, but he just keeps coming back for more. It's like, you would think that if you're getting cooked, at least build your platform off you getting cooked. You know what I'm saying? But he's so narcissistic. He just thinks that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be out there as the voice of the liberal. He's a complete and total goof. What a goofball.
Here 30 minutes waiting for you to do it.
All right.
Give me a real scenario.
Okay, so what I don't understand here, again, and I'm going to ask again, in your incoherent worldview,
okay, please.
You keep on saying that these men who I propose this to are going to get divorced, but I'm not proposing that they get married through the state. The state's the one who does the divorces. So if the only thing you could say is that there's a potential for common law here. But that's something you yourself cannot guard them from by your own admission. The second problem that we have here is that I don't have to stick around for 10 or 15 years, because we can look at the numbers right now in religious marriage for what this looks like. And here's what this looks like. If you're a Catholic, you're way less likely to get divorced. And if you're Orthodox, even less likely to get divorced. And it's because of that ecclesiastical structure. You're not ever going to be able to prevent all risk from divorce, not under anything.
Thank you, God. That's the most realist thing
not
you've
under
said
any,
all day.
But not under any system is that going to be the case.
But why are
even-
Catholics getting divorced?
And you
How
don't
do they
even
get
want to.
divorced?
They get annulments. They don't even get divorces.
Okay,
and it's
but how
a
does that
really long
so
process, and it's rare.
Christians have a similar divorce rate than the secular.
No.
So they have a very close. So how do they get divorced?
I'm going to
How
explain.
do Christians get
Tom,
divorced?
I'll answer your question.
Please tell me, because I know how to get divorced.
So if
right
you
into the
say-
divorce court.
Yeah, I know. So because they call it a state marriage.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm proposing that they don't do that, right?
Okay, a land of make believe.
How's that a land of make believe? You can go fucking do it right now.
Please tell me what
are you talking about?
What percentage of people do this particular thing that you're doing, that you're proposing?
Why
What
would that
percent-
matter? Let's say
Why
it's
does it
one
matter?
person.
Okay,
Why would that
it's- okay,
matter?
it's one person. So you're taking a very small chance. You're
Uh-huh.
arguing against me that has millions of people on my
Who are
side.
getting
and
divorced and
millions-
you don't want
But
them
you're
to.
telling me a small 20 people in a little house on the prairie
Yeah.
that do these, that you govern people without electricity and you riding horse and carriages.
Yeah.
You're
What
telling
does
me
this have
this
to do
small
with
percentage of
anything?
people
Yeah.
are going to lead a movement of doing something you're proposing here on YouTube. This is going. How many people are doing this?
Yeah, he's being
Why would
How
that
many people-
matter?
dramatic.
It would matter because
Why?
then we can use some data to determine, do these people end up in divorce?
Well, we can
More
do it.
than likely.
This is great
Please
because
do.
we can look at the data. So
I
let's
would
look
love
at.
to, please.
Do you want to look at the Catholic data and Orthodox data for marriage?
We're talking about your ecclesiastic proposal.
That's
what
is
we're
the
talking about.
This is
Okay.
the ecclesiastical
If
proposal.
we're using Catholic and Christians, their divorce rate tends to be very
No.
close.
I'll look it up.
It's very close. Let's go
Not
ahead and look it
Catholic.
up. Hold on for a second.
Self-ID'd Christians.
Okay,
Self-ID'd Christians.
Okay.
Self-ID.
Self-ID. No, let's just put Christians.
Christian?
He's like,
Christian and
he
Catholic?
You have
likes
to
dice up-
define. You have
he
to tell
likes
me what a
He
Christian
likes to
is.
dice up all of these
It's
people. And listen,
important.
I would love to go to your church one day. I would
Okay.
be a wonderful guest, and I would love to thump the Bible, and I would love to say a prayer with you.
Uh-huh.
However, this conversation is entering
Can we
into
pull up my screen?
very much a Sky Daddy
Whoa, what happened? Oh, that's the other guy.
conversation, which
All right, we got
then it's about
Who
belief.
brought up Sky Daddy? You.
It's, you brought
Yo,
you
we-
brought it up
we
about
got
the
the divorce rates
ecclesiastic
pulled up right
marriage.
here.
That's not.
You brought that up.
What is that?
So that is a religious
if
argument.
you're an
which lowered
atheist, you
people
should
in
be
a
able to
religion.
get-
Okay, listen.
contend with that,
A lot of
dude.
people would not want to do that. You're telling me a small percentage
Who
of people are going to
cares?
do this.
We're talking about mitigating the rates of divorce. It
now,
doesn't matter how many
Can
do
we
it.
move forward from this one? We agree to disagree.
No, we
Can
don't
mo-
agree to disagree.
Okay,
I
so
need
you want to
counter
keep it here in your
arguments.
land of make
Orthodox are
believe.
I want
believe.
counter
No,
arguments.
I'm not going to argue in your land of make believe.
Yeah,
in the
because you
clouds.
can't.
Because
You have no counter
it's
arguments.
ridiculous. It's
You don't have
ridiculous.
one counter argument.
Here's a counter argument.
Okay, what is it?
There's no God in marriage. How many times do I have to say that?
That's an
If you
assertion.
end
It's
up-
not an argument.
If you end up in divorce court, God doesn't matter. None of this matters. That's real. That's the realest argument that you can possibly hear. Soon as
How do you end up in a divorce court without the state?
Hold on for a second. Hold
How?
on for a second. Hold on for a second. I'm going to tell you how.
Okay.
In the 1940s, which you so love, I don't know why you don't live there. You look like you live there. You're dressed like you live there.
They
Here's
wore
the problem.
hoodies
Hold
and
on for a
jeans in the
second.
40s
Hold
and-
on.
Like what is okay? Let's skip ahead.
Hold on
guys,
for a second.
this.
Average.
That's evangelical
all of
Protestants. That's with the
It says
coalition of
Orthodox
all
adults
of them.
ever divorced 17 to 20. U.S.
Yes.
adult average 33%.
Yeah, so they're much lower.
It says in the U.S. 33%. The Orthodox ever divorced. That's worldwide.
Yeah, they're much lower rates.
Okay, but you're saying that they can't get divorced. That's what you said.
No, bro.
You said, is that what you said?
The whole point
said
here
they
is
can't
how
get
do we
divorced because you're
mitigate the
enforcing
risk
them.
of divorce? You can't ever completely mitigate
30%.
it. It can't ever be completely mitigated, but you can mitigate the risk of divorce.
Okay, great.
It is lower. They're
Much
saying.
lower. Much lower.
Okay, all right. So a chance of getting hit 30% versus 44%. This doesn't defeat the argument.
It does defeat the argument.
Those divorces happen in the court of law because no divorce cannot be
right.
reported in
So
not
this
that's
is
not in
great.
the court of law.
Actually-
so what is the divorce
Yeah.
that happens outside of the court of law? If it's 33%
Mm-hmm.
in the court of law with your Orthodox ecclesiastic marriage, what is it outside?
Even
what is
lower.
it within that?
It's even lower.
Okay, so add that 10%.
yes.
now we're at 40%.
No, you wouldn't add
Whatever.
that. You wouldn't add 10%.
That's the legal
What are you
divorce.
talking
Hold on for a
about?
second. When you say a divorce,
Andrew
those are
hasn't
reported
told me on
divorces
anything yet.
legally.
Yeah, that's just the
Greg
thing.
got- yeah.
Yeah, all this still, like, I think even though Greg Adams is being extra, he's pointing out the facts. You know,
Yeah.
that the majority of marriages in divorce, men get cooked in divorce. There's a whole money-making system that steals money and resources from men and makes it so that that they can't see their kids and that a woman can move some strange man in the house to diddle their freaking kids. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the risk.
Why haven't they mentioned any of that stuff? Where it's like, guys, like, most men would get married if the women weren't so awful.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
I never heard anyone mention that, saying like, look, dude, like these girls are just the dregs.
Yeah,
they're the dregs of the women that are left, and there's
demons.
a reason why they're on their own. Is because they're awful.
Well,
they're awful people.
It's about.
I don't think he had to mention it. The reason why he didn't have to mention it is because he said, well, you're talking about godless marriages. You're talking about this. So if they're saying, well, God's not in marriage. Yeah, because you never brought him in. Like, that's his whole point, is like, they're awful because, of course, they don't adhere to a patriarchal structure. And that's what he's getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
Robin's Fly. What's up, dude? If anyone knows about marriage and divorce, is Robin's Fly. He got cooked, guys. He was one of my first people to come on and talk about his marriage and divorce. He says, I'm here to drop my 2 cents. I watched this live. It's so dangerous, encouraging men to get married. CGA also demonstrated Andrew Wilson's divorce himself. I didn't know this. So yeah, but guys, once again, you can bring God into marriage all you want, but you can't bring God into these horrible demons. These fork-tongued, stomach-slithering, friggin', nasty sewer snatch having 304s. You can't do it. Dude, here's the thing. If Jesus can't save these hoes, what makes you think you can? That's what I don't understand. Andrew's way works fine for a small percentage of people because they're in a system that maybe even sets up women to actually not be 304s. Let's just say, the Orthodox Church has women in it, but there's no way that with social media and single mother homes and all this stuff that the majority of women are just gonna it's gonna have to take two or three generations of them being right, because let's just say the orthodoxy spreads and all these 304s convert to orthodoxy. Men still have to marry whores.
Yeah.
Orthodox whores. And we don't want to marry Orthodox 304s. Now, it might be that maybe if enough Orthodox people have kids and their daughters end up being, traditional, Christian Orthodox, virgin women, that's fine. But the men of nowadays, they're not going to get a woman that's going to be worth marrying.
Well,
it's not going to happen.
I'm glad you said that, because Orthodox and people that are more, I would say, Christian countries are outproducing people that are, secular, because secularists have ABs, Planned Parenthood, all this other stuff. So we're literally outproducing them. What you're talking about is coming to fruition.
Yes, but premarital sex is still a thing in all these Christian households. You see all these girls who are, I'm a Christian, I'm this and that, as they're letting Chad, bump up the booty hole. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're still doing things that wouldn't make them really, really marriage to, or even then, how many women would even say that they want to get married younger, have kids, and put their career and stuff on hold, and being a mother and a wife is their purpose? How many women actually, even religious or not, are going to do that?
I mean, I follow a Facebook page with like 87,000 women that say that. So it's like, but
they say that, but is that what they're doing though?
Let's say half, right? Half of 80 something people are just cosplaying and they're lying, right? They're just capping, right? Let's say that 40,000, right? But it's still a large segment that we could see that is the solution, I'd say. But I'm not saying that everybody should turn to Orthodox. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're never going to convert somebody from being a whore. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that we will have a whole bunch of converts, right? Who's like because it happens all the time. Guys, we have guys put a 1 if you agree that we have the 304 that we have the 304 to church floor pipeline, right?
Yes,
the 304 to church floor pipeline. The final form of a 304 is a church girl.
Oh, we've eliminated that. You have to go through like a catechism for like 3 years before and people quit that. If you're not really about it, you're not going to be an Orthodox
But
person.
3 years doesn't erase, 10, 15 years of whoredom. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Look, here's like
they quit
3 years. 3 years in the church doesn't erase the fact that she's been in Dubai letting Sheikh Mahmoud drop a deuce on her, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, dude. You can wash away the sins, but you can't wash away the Dubai dookie. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. And I think that's expecting men to take an L too, is saying, look, you are a pious man. You are an Orthodox man or a Catholic man or whatever. You've done everything right. You haven't had a lot of premarital sex, or you haven't had any. You're successful. And now you are expected to pay new car prices for a car that has 400,000 miles and 3 accidents on the Carfax.
Well, even Andrew Wilson will agree with me on this, and we both will say the same thing. We'll say that no, men will recognize this. If a woman's been to Dubai, you can tell through her actions. We all on this panel know that a pattern recognition exists in all of us. We're pattern recognition systems. So if a woman has hoe behavior, it's hard for even the most pious man to even see this and overlook this. We'll see it because guess what's going to happen? Her friends are going to be like that. She's going to have a history. Towns are too close knit talking, and social media is really close. So, I mean, nobody's too pious to overlook this. We'll see this and we'll move on. It's just a fact.
I think my issue is that when there's pressure, and I'm not saying that the Orthodoxes do this, with tradcons shame men for trying to say that they don't date 304s. Yeah, like I said, a man of God will take on this chick that's had 5 baby deletions and been to Dubai. Come on, man.
That's a simp factory. You're talking about people that are creating simps. That's stupid. I agree with you.
What most of these churches are now.
I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For money.
That means these people.
Yep.
People filed in the legal reported system. That's 30+%. Okay. You said there would be more that were outside of the door.
No, less.
Outside of the state.
Less.
No, hold on for a second.
Let's get
women. And that's going to be difficult to do. 20%, 30% of sexless marriages, 20, 30% of people having affairs. This is not the intent of people who get married. So yes, we have the divorce. We set that aside. Now, what about within the marriage? How do you mitigate the risk for that? I'm assuming you're going to have the ecclesiastic come through the home and force the wives to fuck their husbands.
Oh, that's quite the straw man. But I'll go ahead and answer. Actually, the ecclesiastical authority does mitigate against this, and here's my proofs. Proof 1. If it is the case that you get married to a woman who's a virgin, but she's a virgin because she's a Christian, hang on, let me get through the entirety of the argument before you start freaking out. If it is the case, your chances of that marriage ending, very, very, very small, 1. And 2, they report that they have a happier sex life. This is actually the case with the decrease in body count, which generally comes with the more religious people, meaning the more that you take your religion seriously, the more that you pray, the more that you engage in that whole ecclesiastical authority thing, the less likely it is you step out of your marriage, significantly less likely. The less likely it is that you end up in a sexless marriage. You know why?
Now, that is true. But guys, what percentage of women are that pious? That's just the thing.
Practically no one.
Once again, guys, these forked tongues, snake slithering, just 304s, guys, they're not having any part of this. And what's crazy is men are getting more religious and women are getting less religious. So now there's a big divide. And I'm telling you guys, monk mode and passports. If you truly are a Christian, religious man, guys, you gotta leave the United States. You have to. Go and find a chick from Africa, from South America, from somewhere else where they actually take religion seriously. It's ridiculous.
Because there's a reinforcement in Christianity that men and women
Robin's Fly, guys, he is correct. If they're virgins, but I would actually put it like more like 22, 23. Guys, there are femcells. We are in the age of the femcell. There are chicks that are, 35, never had sex, never been married, never had a boyfriend.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Guys, if a chick is a virgin and she's over 25, either she's psycho, there's something wrong with her, she's a transformer, or she's lying. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So
you're not allowed to deprive each other of
really
that, of sex.
Yeah.
When it comes to marriage. And you find that people who follow the traditional faith generally don't. And so, yes, the ecclesiastical authority preaches that from the pulpit. Sorry, lady, you got to fuck your husband. That's part of God's law. Yeah. What do you got for him? Go out and just fuck everybody? What are you going to do to mitigate? By the way, you're at the mercy of the same criticism. You can't mitigate guys' girlfriends from fucking around on them any more than you could a person's wife. You can't mitigate them stepping out on them. You can't mitigate them treating them like shit. You can't do anything. At least I have a mitigation here. You have nothing.
But he doesn't need it though, because he's just trying to say marriage isn't worth it. Just don't do it until things get better. Rajai says the problem with Andy's position is that his position is only for a small percentage people that are in the West. Most people are not as religious as would need to be for Andrew's position. Facts. And they're not going to be anytime soon.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. The last super chatter. The reason why it doesn't make sense is because you're asking people to take vows under God and say, I don't believe in God. How do you think that's ever going to work? Like, I have a question.
Wait. What now?
Like, if I take vows and say, I, under God, take these vows and say, you don't even believe in God. Do you think that's going to work? Like, you don't have strong beliefs in these vows or anything you're saying, and you're going to think that your marriage is going to work because you're just reciting stuff you don't believe in? Like, that's crazy.
So
that's what
exactly
I'm saying.
That you're making his point. Only a small amount of people are religious enough to actually go by those vows.
Right, but that also makes my point too, because why are they engaging in things that they don't believe in, knowing that the failure rate's going to be high?
Because they think
304.
Exactly. Why do women do it?
Right.
Here's the thing. Wait. Most people think that they believe this, right? Most people would call themselves Christian. Now, Marte, you don't think they are, that's fine, but they would say they are, and until God comes down and says who's what, who knows, right? I can't say who is, I can't say who isn't. That's the thing about the whole denominational thing, because they would say that you believe wrong, you would say that they believe wrong, and until God says who's right, all you guys can do is just point fingers at each other.
Hey, dude, you've seen the OF worker with the cross on her neck and saying, no, I'm a Christian. You can do OF and be a Christian. We know that there's obvious examples out here.
Yes, but regular hardworking Americans that get married in a church, they've been going to church their entire life, that are like Pentecostals, right? They're not doing OF or anything else. They're doing what they believe is regular, everyday Christendom, right? So if they get divorced, when they got married in a church and honestly thought that they were taking vows and going to do it, right? What we're saying is you are correct. You don't know who believes it and who doesn't. So don't get married, right? Because you don't know, because you can't tell who's who.
I can say this. AJ, you'll agree with me if I say this. You can't be feminist and be Christian. Those two are incompatible.
That's true.
It's like Islam and anything else in the world. So if you're a feminist, why would you subscribe to a patriarchal structure?
That's what I don't understand.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
Call like, if you're gonna want to have a Bible and a cross, but be feminist, don't call it Christianity. Call it flibbity floor. Make up something new.
Exactly.
Why do they, like the LDHT TVs? Why do they insist on calling themselves this when they cannot be part of it? Just call it something else.
Well, because they like to destroy.
Yeah,
like
it's
this is
true.
the thing. They
Guys,
like
I
to
agree.
subvert. They like to subvert and change things that have been established
Yes.
for a long period of time and say that's not what it is.
Guys,
Facts.
so we're almost at the 3-hour mark. We will go over the rest of this. But guys, who wants to see it? Who wants Christmas time?
Light them up, light them up.
Yeah,
light 'em
yeah.
up.
Guys, put a one if you want to see someone get tased, right? And guys, thanks for the super chats. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the join button, guys. We will have a daytime live tomorrow at 4:30. Guys, remember that those are members only, so hit the join button for memberships. Thanks to all you guys that are already members. I appreciate that, guys. You know? And DTM's the first one, so let's do this. But yeah, guys, I'm not trying to. Don't let this debate disqualify Andrew Wilson or Greg Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both are benefiting men, right? There's just one thing that, like, I disagree with Andrew Wilson on the marriage thing and the religion thing. I just do. Like, we don't see eye to eye, but we see eye to eye on a lot of other things. I think Andrew Wilson is single-handedly doing so much good for especially Gen Z men, like young men, because they've never heard, ethics, morality, Christianity talked about in that way. They grew up in the time with these man bun, tatted having youth pastors like, Jesus rocks, man. Jesus is metal, bro. Please. You know what I mean?
Look,
come on.
As with everything, take what you need, use what you can, and discard the rest.
Yeah, that's true. Hold on, guys. What is going on here? Hold on. Logo. Let's do this. Do 1 second. I gotta change up the ambiance here. And guys, let's do this.
That's the sound of the police.
If you like arrest content, be sure to subscribe so to miss out on future videos. An officer attempted to initiate a traffic stop when the driver began to flee.
We're eastbound, trying to get 6 on it. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get sticks in the roadway here on 18.
Ohio, Florida. Oh, he's in a spike sticker. Let's go.
He's still eastbound. Coming up to 9.
Woman doing like getting out of the car quick like that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, she threw the spike strips out. That's why.
Go through southbound 9.
Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Get out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Idiot.
Get out of the car.
Uh-oh. Get out, old Sparky. Let's go.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
Put it in drive.
Put it in drive? I thought you said put it in drive. Because what do we say about the Ponytail Patrol? Right? Useless. Come
How
on,
he's
man.
sitting there revving the engine in like neutral and stuff, and she's like, "Put it in drive."
One-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Let go of the car. Get out of the car now. Get out of the car. Get out of the car now. Get out of the car. Get out of the car and get on the ground.
As if she, come on.
Get on the ground now. Get on the ground now. Tell him you get on the ground now. Get on the ground now.
Useless.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's go. She missed. Ah, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Ah, let's go.
Get out of the car.
He got her again.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Get out.
Get her again. Let's go.
Hey, put it in park.
I can't.
We got her again. I'll play my drum for him. Ba-rum, bum, bum, ba. Ah! her again.
Stay on the ground. Don't move.
Awesome.
Get out of the car. I'm gonna give it to you again.
Oh my god.
Is she still going for it?
Still gonna knock him out.
I got her again. No, it's been said many times, many ways. Merry Christmas.
She's got a crack pipe in her hands.
Take the key out of the ignition.
He got her again.
This woman was lit.
Oh man, this
She's gonna have superpowers by the time he's done with her act.
I was listening to one of the panels, and they told the joke about what you told one with two black eyes. This chick has been tased with 5 times already. Still not
Out of the car now.
Get her again. Get out of the car.
Out she goes.
Give me your hands.
Put those gloves on.
Still fighting radio. Where's Central?
Give me more radio now. Put your hands behind your back. Get that guy over there on the south side. South side. He's in cuffs. All right.
Notice how like
I got the
a
crack
man
pipe.
had
Let go of the crack pipe.
Yeah. Yep.
Let go of the crack pipe.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Stop moving. Stop grabbing me.
She's using a health potion.
What? Is this like their love when they something anger? I don't know. And then what's this red thing on her arm? What is this?
We're 15
Oh,
really
it's one of those KT tape things.
Here's the crack pipe she had in her hand. You got anything on you?
No. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Thank God.
Get over here. Hold on. She's gotta be searched. Yep. You got your work phone on you? Yeah. Grab your work phone.
Was it? No, it's quite not smart. Was it?
Yeah.
Not smart at all. Told you what?
She told me, go.
Why? Why would you do that? Because look what happened. Do you have anything else on you or inside of you?
No.
Who is she to you?
Man.
Can you do me a favor and test this for crack, please? Excuse me. Do you have anything in your shoes?
No.
Anything that she's missing in the search that you don't want to find in jail? I'm asking you now.
No.
Politely.
You got gloves? Just we're gonna have to pull these probes in a minute.
Need a hazmat suit.
We got her in like the Vietnam War criminal stance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where else are we?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill.
There's a what?
Bill.
A bill?
Bill.
Bill.
Like Budweiser. That's an ice bill.
So
Oh,
alcohol?
he wants a beer.
Yeah,
Have you been drinking?
yeah, about 1 bill.
What's
No, somewhere.
All right, guys.
He was just like out.
Yo,
answer any
This woman's like
Sure,
fine
President,
this
now.
one looks like the Walking
Yeah, yeah.
Dead, right, guys? Look at that.
question? If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be and having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk
Jesus.
to us now? Do you understand your rights, Anna?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to have a conversation about tonight?
Look at the size of those people.
I mean, if you guys need me to.
But that's up to you. Having these rights in mind.
But he
Imagine
committed to
touching this chick without gloves. Some of these knuckleheads aren't even
That
human
female
beings.
cop like
in
asked,
the end,
like,
42-year-old
did you
Anna.
come?
He was charged with resisting an officer with violence, possession of cocaine, and fleeing and eluding. After a psychological evaluation, she was deemed incompetent and committed to DCF.
Look at that.
63-year-old Reginald was charged with fleeing or eluding and possession of cocaine. He pled guilty to the fleeing charge and was sentenced to 36 months of probation.
What?
If you like this video and want to see more,
I thought that would be like assault with a deadly weapon.
This one's short, guys. This one's like a minute long.
patrol when he received future videos. An officer was on patrol when he received notice of a suspect with a known warrant in the area.
Hello. Lindsay, step out.
He knows it by your first name.
I love when they plays out the window. Like that's gonna change anything.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Always do that.
What part of step out wasn't clear? Step out. Let's go.
Give me a second. I'm waiting.
Step out now. Step out.
No, I'm not waiting.
Yes. Step out now. You have a warrant for your arrest.
No, I'm not.
Lindsay.
No, I'm not.
Lindsay?
Stop touching me.
7113 when resisting.
Stop. I'm just need to
I'm sorry,
wait for them. I just
7219
need
when
to
resisting.
wait for them. I'm sorry for
Step out before
I'm
you get
sorry
tased.
for that.
Now.
Why?
Get out.
I'm gonna.
Please, God, let him tase this. I don't ask for much. I really don't.
I don't know if those tasers could puncture all that blubber.
And she's wearing red too. Oh yeah!
Get out. Get out.
Okay.
Get out
Let's
before
go.
you get tased.
Oh
Turn.
my
Hands
God,
behind your
this
back.
guy's
Dude,
not
this
playing
cop is
around.
not playing games, dude. Let's go!
Can you just help me?
Hands behind your back. You just kicked me. I don't know how stupid you are.
There it is.
It's time!
Wait for me.
It's not a matter of waiting.
Waiting.
Stop turning.
And stop touching me like that, you f***ing asshole.
Stop
Let them
turning.
be.
Stop turning on the deputy. You already caught another charge. You want to keep catching them?
Then stop touching me like that. What the f*** is wrong with you?
You resisting. That's what's wrong.
Okay, but you need to grab me like that. I'm still
Trying to make a scene.
Okay, and
What do you mean, Ann? Don't you have a f***ing mother?
stop.
What does that have to do with anything?
Stop resisting.
Grabbing me hard.
Stop
See?
resisting.
His mother was a lady.
Let's go.
Yeah, not some friggin' dunderheaded 304.
Mommy, can you grab me?
Okay, here. I'm gonna get you in the car.
No, I know I can bring my phone in the car.
No, don't worry. I'm gonna give you your phone back. Here.
Code 5, 1 to 10.
Touch me? Can you not touch me?
Get in the car.
Walking
Guys,
TikTok.
this is post 2020 policing.
Yeah.
I'll give you your Rogue says probably an illegal.
We have to check your pocket. If you stop.
No, I'm not good in tiny space.
I understand. We'll roll the window down.
Please, can you at least take this one off? It's
If you weren't so
suffocating
big,
me.
you would be in
What is?
tight
This
spaces.
thing
The
right
seatbelt?
now.
Well,
Yes,
don't lean
please.
against it. Turn.
It's suffocating.
It's not on your neck.
Please.
It's not on your neck. It can't suffocate you.
It's suffocating me. This ones are not even on my hand.
Is she really that big?
She said, guys,
I told you don't touch my
I was
Thing right here. You understand? You're nice.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Please.
I'm gonna fix these, but don't buck. Don't.
What are the odds?
Do you see how
we
hard
happen
she
to be
would
pulling
be?
in
Now she's
for
like
the DUI
crying.
things, and I saw the tag pulling in. Perfect. It's like, what are the odds?
So what's going on?
Yeah, she's in the back of the car. She decided to get kicky coming out of the car.
Really?
So she's catching a couple of charges.
Felony? Perfect. Yeah, break.
Perfect.
Well, if it did, we can test it. All right, I'll leave the tray because those are nothing.
Resisting an officer at the end. 19-year-old
Drug
Litzy was charged with resisting an officer with violence, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer without violence, possession of synthetic drugs, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. She failed to appear to her court date and was again arrested after a warrant was issued for her arrest. She later pled no contest to 3 charges and was sentenced to 12 months of probation. She was also ordered to write an apology letter to the officer, complete 30 hours of community service, and pay $1,133 in costs and fines. If you want to read the letter, I'll leave it up on the screen for a moment for you to pause. If you like this video,
all right, guys, I'm gonna shut this bad boy down. Guys, we will be live at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow for the day shift. And once again, guys, we are going to try and end the year on like 31, 32K. So guys, make sure you are subbed. I appreciate that. Guys, I did drop a members post on topics that you want to see me cover. I dropped that a couple days ago. So guys, make sure that you go over, and the ones that have the most likes on them, I'll start doing videos on that. Let me see. I think I have like so all you members go to that post and then put comment the types of content that you want to do. So, but all right, guys, appreciate you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, AJ.
Take it easy, man.
Good seeing you, man.